Hello and welcome to the Coolest Charles podcast. I hope you're good. This is your boy Devoho. The match preview between Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. So hold on for 2 minutes. I just want to do something. Yeah, so this is Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. What a match, guys! A very, very important game for us this season, especially if you check the log table. We're going to dive in there. So if you're new, you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. It's a very important game. Last game of the season. Both teams are fighting for the Champions League spot, as Newcastle, also Man City, then Aston Villa. So before we go to the match review, actually, let's check the log table. Loading up. Seems like I freezed again. So this is the table, guys. I'm sure about the dealing stuff. My network might be on and off sometimes. I'm still struggling with network. So today is much better, but hopefully it can be better for the whole stream because I've been struggling doing streams because of my signal. So there's service provider still helping me out to clear this issue. So hopefully I'll be doing streams more consistently, especially on Wednesday again when we play against Real Betis. I would like to do a watch along for that game, but again, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that. So, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. I'll be very helpful, guys. So this is the log table, as you can see, right? Forget about Liverpool and Arsenal. They are both through. Liverpool is the champions. Congratulations. Arsenal is the runner-up. So in terms of Manchester City have 68 points. Newcastle 66, Chelsea 66, Aston Villa 66, Nottingham Forest 55, right? So we are playing against Nottingham Forest. So if Nottingham Forest win and Aston Villa or Newcastle slip up, they're going to finish in the top five. They're going to qualify for the Champions League. Same as us. If we win, we are safe. For me personally, we need to win this game. I don't care how we do it, but we need to win this game. We need to win this game. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we need to win this game because if we draw, Aston Villa win, Newcastle win, or even a draw, it's over for us. And also, I won't trust Manchester United versus Aston Villa. So we need to win this game. We really need to win this game, guys. We really need to win this game. So I don't know what is going to happen, right? But I hope the boys turn up today. I hope the boys turn up today. But before we go to the match preview and stuff, I think we have some transfer news actually. We have some transfer news, so I would like us to discuss before we talk about this game. So let me go one by one. So before we go to the game, let me do this share something here from Vince. And again, congratulations to Strasbourg. Oh man, I really like this team. After their last game in the league, I was so upset that the cup yesterday. Then Nottingham Forest will go. I mean, this team Strasbourg will go to the Conference League qualification. Then, if they go through, they'll play the tournament just like us. And I hope we win on Wednesday against Real Betis, because if you go on X right now, especially today and Wednesday, a lot of rival fans want us to lose these games. So we need to go all out today and on Wednesday to win these games. But forget about Wednesday right now. I think the most important thing is focus on Tuesday's game. On today's game, I mean. So I'm gonna go to the transfer news one by one before we go to give you my lineup, my preferred lineup for this game. But I'm expecting Dante to join me. I don't know who's going to join me else, because I've shared a link to the panelists. So hopefully more people will join me. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, guys, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. So let me do this. This from Chelsea Dodges on X, quoting Paul Joyce. Cole says Everton have made an inquiry. Everton made a pitch to Liam Delap about joining them. Personally, I will be here for him to join Everton. I know a lot of Chelsea fans want him. Okay, as a Chelsea fan, do you need Liam Delap or Victor Gogoret or even Victor Osimhen? So let me know, guys, who do you want personally? As a Chelsea fan, who do you want? Who do you want? Liam Delap, Victor Gogoret, Victor Osimhen, or even a top striker that you can think about, right? So let me know, guys, who do you want at Chelsea at the moment? Personally, like I said, I won't say this kid is not good or it's not good enough. All I'm saying that for me, at the moment, he's not developed enough to play for Chelsea, right? As much as I'm about with the recruitment of buying kids and stuff, but again, we've been patient enough for 3 years right now. So we have a person here. Koi, big up, bro. How are you?
Oh, bro, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. If I'm being honest, I'm quite nervous. I'm so nervous for today because I'm looking at it this way. I'm looking at it at the good side. If we win, there's so much positive energy going into the Conference League final. I believe if we win, we'll win that match easy. But God forbid if we are to lose, that changes the dynamics. Like and these players are young and fragile. Most of them have not experienced pain. Like you've gone to a UCL final where you've lost, and then you are recovering from it. So we really need to win. I'm quite nervous. I'm even hoping the other teams fall behind so that we can capitalize, especially Aston Villa. In the event that we get a draw or something, I'm basically nervous. Like I'm so nervous, frankly speaking. But how about you? How are you feeling for today's game? How are you feeling?
Yeah, actually, I'm much better right now. Even though I played this stream right in the morning, we had no electricity, so I was not sure whether I'm going to do a stream. Also, another thing, my Wi-Fi right now is on and off, so
It's
it's so
messing
hard
up.
to do streams. So today seems like it's much better, right? So I
Yeah.
was planning a stream, and then so that I can even boost my channel because I'm getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. So I can't just give up now. Yeah, so
Yeah,
stop right
that's
now.
what.
So I say, what, I'm going to give you a fight. No matter the network might kick me out and stuff, I will see if
Yeah,
it's possible. So
yeah,
let's talk about the match today. Like you said, we are all nervous as much as we say we are Chelsea. Remember, our win record at the moment is not good enough.
yeah.
And
That's true.
also, Nottingham Forest, they are fighting for the Champions League spot. Also, if they're fighting for something else, if not the relegation, I will say, okay, they're fighting me for Europa League or Conference League. I will be good. But they're fighting for Champions League also. So that
Yeah,
means it's 50-50. Any team can happen. It's like a
yeah.
final. So, but good thing about this match, Nottingham Forest won't pack a bus today.
Well, I think it depends on the dynamics of the game. I think Chelsea, if you've observed over the past few matches, we start slow, especially within the first 20 minutes. It's like we are asleep. It's like we are snoozing. So teams tend to take advantage of us, like the Newcastle game. You just came man-to-man marking, aggressive, aggressive, and then they got a goal. And if Nottingham's to get a goal first, it will be very difficult to even get a draw because now the onus is on us to attack them. And if we attack, they could score more. And we are also forgetting this component called Anthony Taylor. That referee is I don't know what his agenda is against Chelsea, but I'm not trying to make an excuse. But that referee, he throws yellow cards as if he's just dishing out food. He throws yellow cards so rapidly. I think there was a match I watched. It was a Bournemouth against a particular team, and he recorded I think the highest number of cards in the game. That was a total of 11 yellow cards. 11. I was so shocked, absolutely shocked. So that managing that referee who is quick to dish out cards plus the away atmosphere, I think Maresca has to talk to the boys to be active. Like they shouldn't be passive within the first 15, 20 minutes because that is what they are going to do. They are going to go for a man-to-man press within the first 20 minutes, look for a quick goal. Once they get that, sit back and then play on the counter throughout the game and win. So whoever gets the first goal, really shifts the balance. So I pray, hope and pray, we are active during the first 20 minutes and we don't go to sleep because even in the United game, you realize in the early moments of the game we were a bit asleep because Maguire was now overlapping into the penalty box and that's how he got his goal. That fortunately for us, it was an offside by just a millimeter. So for
Yeah.
this game, we need we need to be attentive. The boys, Maresca he has to outside of the tactics, he has to really psych them mentally. Even if you misplace a pass, don't complain. You just focus. You misplace a pass, it's fine. Don't worry. Even if you miss a shot, it doesn't matter. Don't be down. Just keep on going. Keep on going. Like that's the mentality he has to put in them. Even if you are dribbled, even if you try to dribble and it doesn't work, try again. Like that's the kind of mentality. They have to have this kind of perseverance kind of mentality. Like even if your teammates misplace a pass, don't complain. Just give him the thumbs up. Like encourage him because it's an away game. So most likely the environment and all that is going to play a part. So right now, even if a player makes a mistake, just good job. Like kind of these little psychological cues because unfortunately our players are not, they are so young, they're not like the Drogbas and Terrys where they are mentally tough through their experiences. So managing a young team, all these dynamics come into play. Klopp is someone who could psych his players very well and then they'll go all out. So I'm hoping Maresca for this particular match, really outside of the tactical approach, the mental side, you really need to push them. You really need to encourage them. You really need, if he gets that part right, forget about the crowd. Forget about the crowd. It's about us. Let's play the game. We don't care about the crowd. So if he does that well, I think we can get results, provided Anthony Taylor doesn't give some faulty penalties or dish out a red card for an unnecessary reason. The players have to be wary of that because he's someone that when you approach him, Anthony Taylor, the least thing he dishes out a card. And you don't want to be getting cards in the early parts of the game that are unnecessary. maybe you may need to take a card for the team, get into the tail part if we are leading. So if you go and get a card at the early part of the game, it's over, just like what Jackson did against Newcastle and cost us the game. So for this match, Maresca, he has to really talk to them outside of the tactical approach. The mental side is very, very, very important for this game.
Yeah, also big up to Ebenezer on the chat. Says we are winning by 0-2. Don't worry. Yeah, he can say don't worry, but as soon as you watch the game, you're going to be worried. So don't say don't worry, but as soon as you watch the game, you'll be worried. So if KD says Chelsea and Forest are going all out, 100%, 100%. So both KD and Ebenezer, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please
Yeah,
kindly
like and
subscribe.
subscribe. Like and subscribe, please.
So if you subscribe, I appreciate it. So like you said, Koi, this game is so stressful to watch, right?
Yeah,
As much as we are going to say, oh, it's Forest against Chelsea. Forest, they know what they're fighting for. Even
yeah,
Chelsea, they know what they're fighting for. And
that's
also,
true.
good thing about Forest, they're playing at home ground advantage.
Yeah,
Ground advantage.
that's true.
So Koi says the best prediction for this can be a draw 2-2 or Chelsea win 3-1 because this game Madagascar needs to see it out. But also another thing, right? My only
Yeah,
annoying thing with this game, Nicholas Jackson's red card against Newcastle.
yeah,
Nicholas Jackson is so perfect the way you play. As much as we don't rate him as a player or we have different opinion about him, right?
yeah.
But Nicholas Jackson for me is perfect for this game.
That's
And
true.
we don't have an outlet just like him for this game, unless in the second half, maybe in the last 15, 20 minutes, we bring on Mark Guehi,
Agree. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
We or Guehi. So it will
yeah.
help us. And also, we have Nkunku on the bench, but I don't want to call him Nkunku because Nkunku is on and off. That's the
No,
issue.
I think he's checked out mentally from the club. I think he's checked out mentally. Like he knows he's leaving, and you don't want to be relying on a footballer who has his mind outside the club because his heart is not going to be in it. And with this match, we don't need players dilly-dallying or giving off that kind of lazy vibe on the pitch. We need players showing desire and hunger. And as you said, Jackson, he not being there is really a bit of a problem because even as much as even though his finishing is quite bad, his movements, he worries defenders a lot. And we are going to miss that company. And anytime we play without Jackson, even Neto as the false nine, he tends to move away from the box a lot. And you know, when you move away from the box, if you are the center back marking a striker, and right now there's no one to mark, what happens is that now you go and help out your midfielders and then your fullbacks, that's the right back and the left back. So it's like more or less you double up. And that's when you see Kopama becomes irrelevant or the midfield becomes packed. So if we are going to play a false nine, which I think that's what he's going to do, I don't think he's going to start Gui from the onset. I don't think he's match fit to do that.
Yeah.
If he's going to start Neto, Maresca needs to tell them that because all those matches we played with Neto as the striker, when he moves away from the penalty box, no one is occupying it. And when that happens, it's like when we get the ball to cross, there's no one to cross to. There's no one, creating space. Because if you are going to play a false nine, movements create space. Someone needs to intentionally just be running into the box, just hopelessly be doing that, so that at least it can move a player away, creating a space for your teammate to either receive the ball or either move into that space with the ball. So Maresca needs to highlight these things. Some of these things you don't need to have a UEFA coaching license to see this. These are so obvious cues that I saw. Anytime he plays in Kunku as the nine, that happens. When he plays Neto as the nine, because Neto, he doesn't like the body contact so much. So he always vacates the box. And when he's vacating the box, there's no one trying to occupy. At least if you occupy, the defenders have an attention shift. If it's 100%, they have a 30-40% shift of attention on you. And then probably a 60 on other things. So Maresca, for this game, as I've said, aside psyching them psychologically or boosting them psychologically, when whoever plays as the striker or the nine, when he vacates that position, someone needs to move there. Because so many times when we play without Jackson, no one is occupying the box. And if you're a defender and you have no one to mark, it's quite easy, because you see, when you're a defender, you can see the entire pitch, just like the goalkeeper. So now you're able to prepare for any attack. You know that, okay, as Noni is coming, he's come to cross it. There's no one there, so I know what I'm going to do. But if you have someone in the box occupying them, taking away their attention, it increases our chances of scoring. So for this match, I hope he rectifies that particular mistake anytime we play with Neto or some. At least in the United game, I saw George trying to be in the box all the time, and even though he didn't get clear-cut chances, that also helped us in one way or the other, because now the defenders couldn't move freely out of the box to double up or help their teammates. So for this game, I hope he eradicates or rectifies that particular mistake in this tactical approach.
Yeah, and then number 8, dog, he says, Forest fan here, Chelsea going down today, Forest 4, Chelsea nil.
You know, he's not a Forest fan. He's just I'm sure he's a United fan. I'm sure there are not many Forest fans around. I'm sure he's just trolling us.
KD says, but what I'm quite confident about is that Forest have had a poor form in the last 5 games. They have won 2, lost 2, draw 1. And then KD says number that ain't realistic. And also KD says the best option will be start Maguire. We'll wait and see, bro. So Dante, welcome, big up, bro. How are you? And
big up, Kante.
What are your thoughts about this game?
Yeah, big up to Bego. Koi, is it? Sorry.
Yeah, it's Koi. Big up, Dante.
Yeah, big up Koi. Yeah, excited. Can't wait, actually. Yeah, excited to final game of the season. Really looking forward to it. Not really too nervous, but pretty calm about it, actually. Not too bad. I'm actually
You
quite
need to share your calmness strategy with me. I need some. Like, I need what you're
pretty
on right
calm.
now. I need some.
I'm pretty calm about it. I believe in Maresca and the boys will get the result, get do what they need to do, and I think we'll get a result. I don't see us losing this game. No chance. Worst probably result will be a draw, I think, which doesn't really quite help us. So you never know. It can, but we need to win. So yeah, pretty confident Maresca will have the right game plan, and the players know that. Everybody knows that. Like, they need to win. So yeah, I'm pretty confident we'll get the win. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm confident Maresca knows what he's doing. So I put my full trust into him. I heard you saying about playing at the striker there, Koi. Who do you have playing a striker?
Honestly, I'll still take George over Neto, and I have my reasons.
Okay.
I'll still take George over Neto, because when I watched the United game, I watched it again, and I realized George, as I said, I think before you joined, I don't know if you heard, but Neto, and all of the games that I've watched Neto playing as the striker, he's always vacating the penalty box. And if that happens, the opponent's centre backs are free to double down on our midfielders and wingers. So someone like George, and I like the way he shoots and all that, he being in the box, even if he's not getting the ball, just by his presence being there.
Yep. Yeah, I heard you saying that.
Yeah, it helps.
I think that was on purpose. I think that tactic was done on purpose. One, Neto to take the defenders out.
But they weren't following him. That's the issue. You see, they were not following him. They were just, okay, where you are, Neto, if you go into the midfield, it's not necessary for me to follow you all the way from my penalty box into the midfield area. It's not necessary. So if that was the approach, they are not following you wherever you go. They are not man marking you. So once
you do realize when Neto played up front as a striker, he probably had 3 very good games in a row.
Oh yeah,
he did extremely well, and he confused the defenders so much that they didn't know where he was coming from. He was making runs late, dragging a couple of the defenders. Sometimes they were following him, sometimes they weren't, and they were confused what's happening. When George played, nothing happened. He can't do that. They don't see him like that, because young kid, he's not a threat, and he's very weak. George, he's not very strong. Neto is very strong.
That's
He
true.
doesn't get pushed off the ball easy. Only if he wants to get pushed off because he falls down to get a foul. But he's actually very strong, so he doesn't go down. I prefer 100% Neto over George to start there, in my opinion, because I've seen it 3 games in a row when we had him playing there. He did very, very well. He confused the defense. And like you said, that was on purpose what he did. That was a coaching tactic by Maresca, not to just sit around there and do nothing, basically, like George did. There was no point doing that. So George didn't do well for me as a striker. He didn't take up the right positions and didn't do what Neto did, actually. He needed to do what Neto did because you can't just sit there and get pushed off by the ball by big defenders. It's just not good. You're not doing anything. You have to run from deep, make runs left, make runs right. Exactly what Neto did. He got him behind like 10 times. He was running all over the place.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, George didn't do that. He's obviously it was his first time starting there, so I'm sure he didn't quite know exactly what he's doing. But I definitely would prefer Neto there 100% over George. I
But
think
I
there's
believe
evidence of that.
Neto will start. I believe Neto will be the one to start. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just hoping that approach where when because it was happening. I'm trying to remember that particular game. I was so frustrated watching it. I get it. You move so that you confuse if that's good. But if you are moving all the time and they're not following you, that means Palmer will now be double marked because Forest, there are 2 DMs, defensive midfielders, will now
Doesn't
double
matter.
up on
It's not about
Palmer.
one player. It's not about
Yeah.
one player. It's a team sport. Doesn't matter if they double team Palmer, that's good. That's an extra player away from the other players.
No, in the
That's
sense
not a
that if this
big
is what I
issue.
mean. Sorry to interrupt. But this is what I mean. If you are the center back and there's no one to mark, if you are doubling up, like if you are doubling up on Palmer in that regard, that means right now it's an extra. You see, it's not like the DM is one DM is shifting to the help the right back so that space is created. This time around,
Yeah,
there's
but
no
you
space
need to
being
look at the
created because
opposition as well. Every
yeah,
opposition is different. Forest do a zonal. They do zonal marking, but with 11 at the back, basically when they're out of
yeah,
possession.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
when Neto played, I can't remember which one it was. They were man marking. Very big difference. So you got to look at the opposition as well, what they're doing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's very important as well because Palace do a zonal mark. They basically get 11 guys behind the ball, and they're in a zonal position, cover every little space, so no one. They do a nasty low block every time, basically. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're a zonal. They're zonal. So you'll see Chelsea will pass it around a lot, and they will try to pull them out. That's the only way to get past that because we don't have a physical number 9 up front to get crosses into, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's true.
late runs in the box from Neto, from
Enzo.
especially from Cucurella back posts, and yeah. Look, it's all based on opposition, but yeah, look, I'm confident. We've played very well against them last time. We were very unlucky not to get the win we deserved. That their keeper pulled off 3 or 4 amazing stops. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And their keeper
really,
is
we
quite
should
good.
have
I
won
even
that
forgot.
game
I forgot about
comfortably.
him.
To be honest, it was a
Even
comfortable. Should have won it like 5-6-1. To be honest, but it is what it is. The keeper was the man of the match, so that's fine, no problem.
even
But yeah, I'm not too worried about them. I think we're much better the second half of the season. We're much better against low blocks. I think the players understand it a little bit more, the system, what they need to do, and they're a bit more patient, and it's paid off. I think we're much better against low blocks now.
yeah, even in Kunku, I remember he had an opportunity to even header to win the game for us, and then Salas made a good save. Even though I thought Kunku should have done better there. So yeah, man, this
Yeah, hundred
game is a
percent. He should have. It was a free header. He just put it straight at the keeper. That's the problem.
yeah. So we have Lee here. I won't pronounce his first name because I don't want to butcher the name. Chef Lee here. Big up Lee. So if you're new, please kindly subscribe. He says, please, Kui is back. So please leave Judge. And also he says this, Judge is good, but he is that not good for his match to please leave it out. So I
I think
don't
he's.
know
I think
why.
he's saying Jackson. I think he's saying Jackson is
Oh,
good, but he's not.
Jackson.
I think he's saying Jackson is
Oh,
good,
okay.
but it's
I
not
don't know
good
who
for
Judge
this.
is.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's referring to Jackson. I think he's referring to
Okay.
Jackson. You see, earlier we were
Okay.
discussing whether we will miss Jackson, and I think he's trying to debunk it by saying he's not good. So whether he plays or not, that's not an excuse. Leave that, leave that argument or that statement out.
Yeah, and then he says, Gui is back. You all stop Neto for striker. But also remember, Gui is just is training right now. So we can't just play him for the sake of
Yeah, we
playing.
can't play him from the onset. Yeah, that's
And
true.
he's been
Yes.
back. He's been out for a long time, and to
Yeah,
put him in the highest pressure game, in physical and a lot of run, you can't throw that kid in 18-year-old kid in for like that. That's not. I don't
yeah.
think you can do that.
And even physically, he's not yet up to it. So if you are going to play Gui as a striker, it has to be towards the tail end where the game is a bit open or
Yeah,
legs are
he's not sharp
stretched.
enough. He wouldn't be sharp
Yeah,
enough. He
yeah,
needs some more. He needs games. Unfortunately, this is the last game, so it's not good for him. But I don't see
exactly.
Maresca starting him. I don't
No,
think
no,
he
no,
might
not
come
at
on
all.
at
Not
the
at all.
end for a few
Yeah.
minutes if we're winning by a lot or we're losing and we need another forward. Maybe he might come on. But honestly, I probably still seeing Kunku coming ahead of him on even so
No, but
because yeah,
Dante, with Nkunku wanting to leave, you
yeah.
see, I don't think Nkunku is a bad player. I just think wrong team, wrong situation, wrong time.
Yeah,
But
same here.
he
Mm,
wanting to leave. You see, Nkunku gives off the vibe of, I don't want to say lazy, but someone who, doesn't care. And he wanted to leave. His head in the game. Will he be professional enough to be, focused? Like, okay, let me put in my best.
It
You get me?
is. You're not at
Because
that level and you're not training that way, and he
but
is. That's not the
these players are
problem.
also
That is
human
not the
beings.
problem.
The-
Maresca wouldn't have been playing him and giving those chances if that is not professional or not
no,
training right or doing stuff. The
no, but
problem
is
with
he?
him is,
Yeah,
like you said, positional wise, system, but also him as well. He's gotten too slow, and the Premier League is way too fast for him. He's not suited to the Premier League at all, in my opinion. It has to be a perfect formation, a perfect system for him to be good in the Premier League. Otherwise, he needs to go to Spain, Italy, and those
or
countries,
back
and
to
that'll be
Germany.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
it's 50-50. It's a bit of both. But you can't tell me he wasn't given a go. He was given a go. He played up front. He played false nine. He played a 10. He played on the left wing. He played everywhere basically. He was given a go everywhere. And when you're not even
no, but
shooting or losing possession, that's got nothing to do with the system. His
no, but
head was not there. And I think the
yeah, you
game
see,
got too quick for him. It's too quick, the game. Too much pressure.
yeah, but you see, he wasn't featuring more in the Premier League. That's one. And you see, for players too, sometimes if you are being benched for a while, because if he was given that exposure more, probably it may be different. But that's just hindsight.
No,
But
I don't
yes,
buy that.
regardless, too, he also
He's
has
not a
his part.
19-year-old. I don't buy
Yeah.
that. He's a
No, but no,
26,
no,
27-year-old.
no.
He's
I get
not.
that. But no matter
Yeah.
how, look at Reece James, for instance. Reece, even though he's recovered from injury, we know Reece is not yet at his level, that his world class standard. Even though yes,
He
he's
is
got the
fitness
assist.
wise. He is. He's
Yeah,
fitness wise, no problem.
yeah, but sharpness wise and with
It's
attackers,
again, this is Reece James's body and the way he's slowed down. He's much heavier. He's not the
yeah,
same
but I
player.
get
He'll
it. But
never
let's
be
say
that
he
player
not
ever
being
again.
he not being a regular on the pitch. There's also aside fitness, there's also much sharpness. You understand? And attackers usually rely so much
Yeah, I know, but
on
that's you
their
maybe the
instincts.
first couple of weeks, but where he's been playing for the last 3
Oh
months,
yeah, but
basically.
he's still not yet at the Reece James that we used to know. Even though he's
You're
progress.
not gonna get that ever again.
You've given
That's
up
never
on that
gonna be
level.
again. He's not gonna be at that level again. He's not gonna be like that again. His
I'm,
body's
I'm I'm just
changed.
being I'm just
His
being an
style of
optimist
playing
here,
has
but
changed.
yeah, I'm just being an optimist here. I'm hoping because I looked at Dembele. Dembele was quite injury prone in Barca, but for whatever miraculous reason, he looks to be
Yeah, but
playing
Dembele is
more.
60 kilograms.
Yeah,
He's a skinny. He's skinny.
no,
He's
I get
small.
he's
He's
skinny,
not.
but Dembele used to get injured. In Barca, he could go six months,
Yeah. I
one
know.
year.
I know. He was
Yeah,
injured a
so
lot, but I'm
and
just
Rudiger,
saying, body
remember
wise,
Rudiger too. So you are
Dembele's
saying
put
it
on
based
like
on
1 or 2 kilos.
okay. I get what you are saying. So from Rhys James' physical
Yeah,
body makeup, I get you.
He will, but he's
I
never
get what
gonna
you
have
mean.
that speed that he had
I
and
get
that
what you
sharp
mean. I get what
the
you
way
mean.
he played. He's never gonna
Yeah,
have
I
that
get what you
because
mean.
his body's changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
So
see
I
that
get what you
happening ever again. To be, you're just not going to get that back. He's gone past that age now where his body's settled, and all you do is get a little bit slowly, a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. No matter how much you train, it's just natural.
yeah,
It's just gravity. Basically, it's gonna happen, unfortunately. And he can't. You will never see him play like that again, like be that explosive, up and down, quick. He hasn't got that in him anymore. I don't think he's got that in him.
Yeah, so Lee says Nathan won't stop, bro. We will start not Jackson or Nathan.
Judge.
Judge.
Yes, yeah, I think he's
I'm not sure who
in,
Judge is. You need to clarify, Lee, who Judge
yeah,
you're
I think
talking about.
Yeah,
The judge is Jackson. It's Jackson. He said.
That's a new nickname for Jackson. Judge
Yeah,
Jackson. I like
Judge Jackson. And
Judge
KD
Jackson.
says,
Yeah,
yes. And
yeah,
then KD says, Gui is a very good presser. I prefer him
he is.
to start.
yeah.
I prefer him to
To
Neto
start,
and Kuku.
yeah, Neto and Kunku.
But
Yeah,
also, I agree with your statement. But at the same time, the kid has been injured for a long
injured.
time.
Exactly.
There's no way we're going to force him to play right now.
Exactly. He's not even played 1 minute of since he came back, so we can't just fast forward him into the team. No. It's true. He's a good presser than Neto, arguably good presser
Much
than
better, but
Neto.
yeah, you can't. He'll get his. He might get a. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
the Conference League. He might surprise there. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
and also KD says save them from a slaughter, 100%. But right
Good.
now,
Yeah.
hopefully, he won't save them.
yeah. Because I watched their game against West Ham, and he saved them quite a lot. They nearly drew that game. West Ham
Yeah,
started slow.
they really should
He,
have drew or lost that
yeah,
game. West
that
Ham had so
keeper
many chances.
was a life saver, basically like a doctor saving lives. Like he was so good. So I hope we are clinical. Another thing we forget is that
Okay, guys.
it's not clinical.
I'm going to come back. So continue.
Okay, we'll
Okay,
talk.
all
No
right,
problem.
all right. Yeah. So Dante, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So another aspect to that, I think probably also like we are not looking at is we being clinical because
100%. Yeah.
if we get, I'm sure we will get the chances. That one, I don't doubt it. But will we be clinical? Because I'm looking at first. If they get half of our chances, I believe they are burying that as compared to us. With Elanga and Odor, it looks like they found their shooting boots, and Wood too is quite a good finisher, even though he's not a popular name, but
Wood is the
it's
danger man, to be honest.
yeah,
He's the big danger man, and that's why Tosson needs to start and man mark him because the guy scores 80% of his goals with his head.
yeah,
Okay,
and
so what
yeah,
they do, basically, what Forest do, I've looked at them quite close. What they do, if they obviously they low block, then they counter
yeah,
attack with
yeah,
Odoi, Elanga, and Wood runs in the box, but he's not that fast. He doesn't get to the box. If the wingers can't get past our guys, they go into second phase where they take it out wide, and
yeah,
then straight away wait for Wood. Once they see Wood make the run in the box, they cross it straight to him straight away because he wins
yeah,
pretty much all of his aerial duels and. He
yeah,
scored, like I said, 80% of his goals above his head. So
yeah,
yeah, that's the key to shutting them down. And I think Cucurella and that can shut the wingers down. I'm not worried about Cucurella shutting down
yeah,
Elanga or Odoi because Cucurella's can do that no problem. It's
yeah,
about having Tossin, I think, is very important to have him there to
yeah,
man mark and basically free kicks, corners on the counter anytime they cross the ball in because they whip the ball in probably like 60 something percent of the time in the game.
time, yeah,
That's the most attacking threat.
yeah,
They cross the ball to Wood all the time. So
yeah,
with Tossin there, won't happen. He will not get his head on it because Tossin wins pretty much all of his. I think he's like 80% percentile winning all these aerial duels.
duels and all
So
that.
that eliminates a big threat, and I think that is very important. I don't really want to see Shalaba start because I don't think Shalaba can handle Wood in the air.
No. I don't think
Neither
this
can
is the shadow
Colwell.
buggy. Yeah, no, Kowo. I don't think Kowo aerially. I don't know. I don't think he's so good at it, and
And he's not strong physically. That
yeah, he's
Colwell is
not.
not
Yeah, he's
strong.
not. Yeah, you're right. He's not a physically imposing defender. That's why even the Deanhausen, I was not particularly hurt that he went to Real Madrid because
No,
I'm looking
he
at us.
doesn't fit with playing with next to Colwell or
Kowo,
that
yeah,
because they're both
they are two
the same. There's no
softies. Like,
point. You got to have someone else,
yeah,
and that's why I would prefer like a Guehi, someone
yeah,
that's
yeah,
seasoned, even though he's young,
yeah,
24, but he's a captain, a leader. He's
yeah.
strong, but overall, his IQ and his positioning is A plus. That's
Exactly,
the
like a
number one.
Thiago Silva kind of defender who reads.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
Calm,
who,
composed,
yeah,
doesn't get rattled. Positioning
yeah,
is perfect always.
perfect. Yeah,
And he just won. He just won as well. He's a winner now too. So
yeah. So he has the mentality now. That I agree with that point. And then today I'm also praying for no bozo moments from Sanchez. because
Yeah, look, he's been very good the last 4 or 5 games. He's
yeah,
been
for the
actually
but Sanchez. Remember, I think the match against Bournemouth where he saved the penalty. He saved us literally in that game. Then,
last minute
in
as well. Yeah,
as
yeah,
soon
yeah.
as you praise him for how well he's done, and you're
Yes.
hoping like, is he about to finally become a top goalkeeper? Then he makes a
I
bozo
don't
mistake.
think I don't think that will happen. I think that's a bit
Oh
optimistic.
no, no, personally, I've given up on that aspect. But I'm trying to say, anytime he
Yeah,
has a
but this is definitely by
consistent,
far the longest stretch he's had playing really good, 3 or 4 games in a row, like played really,
yeah,
really well.
without making,
Hardly made a mistake even with the ball at his feet.
yeah,
I think he's made one mistake maybe in the last 4 games with his feet. So this is
so
by far his longest stretch, not making mistakes and playing properly like a proper goalkeeper, everything. So yeah, look, one more game he needs to do that. This is the last game because he's not going to play Conference League. So one more
yeah.
game, and you know, hopefully that gets his value up and he can move in the summer.
Yeah, yeah, I sincerely hope so. I sincerely hope so because
But yeah, we
we
do got to
can't.
give him credit because, like I said, the last 4 games, he's
Oh
been
yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
he's really
So
saved us. Frankly speaking,
he's
for that one,
at crunch time, he's been very good at this
yeah,
last four. Probably
he's
the
really
most high
saved.
pressure games. These last 4 games, he's been very good.
Good, yeah, yeah. So, but what will be your lineup? What will be your
Yeah,
potential lineup for this game?
we did this on Chelsea Perspective yesterday. So I've got Neto up front. I've
Yeah,
got Sancho left or right.
Sancho,
Doesn't
Sancho over who? Over
over
Noni.
George. There's no way George starts this game.
Okay, so not okay. So Neto, Sancho. Okay,
Neto, Sancho, Madueke, and Palmer.
okay, Palmer. Okay, then your midfield.
Midfield is Enzo and
Uh huh.
Caicedo.
Okay, then
Right back,
your back
I
line.
have Reece James.
Okay,
Uh, the other ones I have Toss and Colwell and of course Cucurella and
Cucurella.
Sanchez.
Okay.
The only thing is the Reece James is the only interesting one that I think is the Reece James or Lavia. It's one of those two.
So, but would you want to invert Caicedo from that right back position to help Lavia to kind of make the midfield solid? Because we know, in as
Yeah, well
much as
that's what I'm saying. The only change would be, and Maresca
yeah,
is probably looking at it. Do you start Lavia or do you start Reece
yeah.
James? I
But
went for
what would
Reece
you choose
James
if you're
because
Maresca?
we're
Yeah,
we're more attacking with Reece James on the pitch.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
With
I'm going.
Lavia, we don't create much. We don't get forward as much.
yeah.
So I think we're much more offensive, and we really need to win this game. So I went for Reece James to start this just because of that reason. But I mean, I don't mind. Caicedo starting a right back and
So
then inverting next to
Dante,
Lavia. Yeah,
so where should I change here? I was listening to your lineup, so I'm
yeah,
back
yeah,
for a
yeah.
while, and and then I might go back. I might go again. I'm just waiting for someone to do something for me. So he's here, but
Mhm.
doesn't have what I'm asking for. So I'm gonna go again. So what is your lineup? Is this one or you still have some issues?
Yeah, look, I have Sancho coming in basically and Lavia on the bench. I have Sancho coming in.
Oh,
But
okay.
Palmer's not going to play as a right back, as a right winger. He's not going to play there.
yeah,
He's going
yeah,
to
he's
play as
not
a
going to play
10.
there.
He hasn't done that for very long time. I don't think he's done that. So I think George will obviously go out, and I think Sancho will come
So,
in.
so
And
Lavia for Sancho. Where Lavia is? Lavia for Sancho.
yes,
Yeah,
now it can be the other way around because I like Sancho on the right more than the left, but it doesn't really matter. Madueke left, Sancho right. Sancho right. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But I think this will be probably the way he goes with it.
Yeah,
Um,
I think so. I agree with you. I think I agree with you because I like Reece James for his creativity and his dynamism. You know, he can just create out of nothing.
Exactly, and
And
he's going to probably be he's going to be a right centre back, not really
yeah,
because
so he's not
Barella will
really
go
going to
forward.
overlap that much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the thing is, we're playing against Nottingham Forest, and when they're sitting there low block, at least it gives James license to go a bit
yeah,
forward, like we saw the
for
last
it.
couple of
Yeah,
before the last couple of games. So
that's true.
it
And
gives him
I think
that opportunity to push forward, and we need
yeah,
goals. We need goals. If we score
yeah,
first, well, then they need to open up, and then I think we've got them, no problem. So, but we need
yeah.
to score the first goal. So I want, we need to go at them.
I like this lineup, but again, do you
Yeah,
think
I agree.
Lavia might start on the bench? Do you think so?
Well, look,
Yeah, I
Lavia is
think
the
so. I
perfect
think
guy
so.
to bring on if we're winning.
Yeah,
You bring him
when
on and
we
shut
are
the game
winning.
down.
Yeah, because I agree with this, because for this game we need to take the lead
We
first,
need to
because
score.
if
Yeah,
Forest are
yeah,
to take the lead, it will be quite difficult. And having Lavia start, I agree with what Dante said. It makes, I think it reduces the level of our creativity a bit. And having James can shoot from distance, James can cross from deep, James can create from deep. So
Actually,
having
we might do
yeah,
this,
having
right?
James and then Forrest, sitting back a bit, James having space and time on the ball. I think, yeah, I agree. I agree with this lineup, and I'm having Noni to finally cutting in on his favorite left foot for this game. I need all of them to be shooting, especially Sancho. If you create Sancho, you're able to create the separation, but for whatever reason, you don't even shoot when you create the separation to score. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
I don't get him. Sometimes you're able to dribble, Sancho. You're able to dribble. There's space to shoot, and he's looking to pass again. Sancho,
Yeah, because
this
he's a
game,
he's a creative winger. He's not a scoring winger.
yeah,
He's
but you
always
see,
looking for the man,
in
yeah,
his
But
to pass
Dortmund
the ball
days,
to set up someone. Yeah,
yeah, but in his Dortmund days, he was not a bad finisher. I don't know why. Okay, probably he went to United, so confidence is down. But when you watch his Dortmund games, when it
yeah,
comes to scoring, even in United, I watched them
even for
against
us, every
City.
time he's shot, he's pretty much scored or hit the target.
Yeah, it's usually on target, or unless it's blocked, it's usually heading towards it. But it's not like
Yeah, yeah,
far wide
yeah.
or far left or something. So I don't know, because this game I think he's not a bad shooter. I won't say he's an exceptional shooter, but I think he's not a bad shooter. So if you're able to dribble and create the separation, hit the shot. Maybe a deflection will land in the net, probably to hit
Yeah.
someone's hand. But
Look, it
aren't you
could be a
worried
bit of
about
both, a bit of
Anthony Taylor?
coaching,
Yeah,
a bit of him wanting
yeah.
to actually show that he's a team player, and you know what I mean, because he's on
No. He
loan. Yeah,
needs to take, if he wants us to sign him, because some of the wingers I'm hearing we are moving for, allegedly, or rumored to go for.
yeah,
I'd
Alex,
rather pay 25 million for Sancho, frankly speaking.
yeah. I agree. I
yeah,
think he's done enough to earn a spot. Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah,
He's a
because
good
some of
squad
the
player as
wingers,
well, so he
Garnacho
doesn't
for
complain.
60, 70 million is absurd. Gettins to, I'm hearing Dortmund want to increase the price, like they want 60 and above. So I
Because it's
think,
Chelsea, that's why.
yeah, I think just sign Sancho for 25. Let's keep the money, go in for a striker, but that's for a later conversation. But
That's another
aren't you worried
conversation.
about Anthony Taylor? This part, I watched his match against, I think, Bournemouth versus West
No.
Ham,
Mm.
where
I'm not
he threw
worried
out
anymore.
11 yellow cards. 11 yellow cards in that
Yeah,
match.
yeah, yeah. I'm not
So
worried
aren't you
about
worried
that.
about him?
Actually, he's actually done our last couple of games, three
Yeah.
games he's refereed. He's actually done very well in those games. So
Yes, I saw
I
that.
think that was the previous seasons, but this season when he's refereed us, he's done very well.
Yeah. So let me ask this question that I think most fans do ask. We are all hoping we win, definitely, but let's also look at it on the other side. If we are to let's say lose our last two matches, that's today and the Conference Leagues game, would you sack the coach?
No.
No,
No. Okay.
yeah.
Uh,
Let me give you my reason first. First
all
of
right.
all, I I don't think it's helping for us as a club to hire and fire coaches because we need consistently, right? So give Enzo Maresca the next, let's say for next season, right? For the next maybe 6 months, see what is how he's progressing. If we're still struggling by then, you can make some changes. Just my opinion. Also, we have a club World Cup, so there's not enough time for a new coach to build up his philosophy, style of play. Meanwhile, we're going to play the club World Cup. Doesn't make sense. And also for me, I think the sporting director should take accountability because
Yeah,
we saw last
I agree.
season, right? Last season, we saw that with Nicholas Jackson, he was doing very well, but he needed someone to push him, right?
Yeah,
I'm not saying I know every game when it doesn't do well, we talk about selling, blah blah blah. It's how we feel when we are angry. But
yeah, that's
personally,
true.
if we had another striker to push him, maybe he can be a better player, or we have something, we have alternative option. Nkunku is not a number
Yeah,
9, and there's no way Mark is going to start ahead of Nicholas Jackson.
yeah,
So
yeah, I agree with you. I think that sporting directors got it wrong with the striker, because how can you give a manager a Barcelona academy player who started having, first team appearances, and then pair him with Jackson, who is also, learning on the job, sort of, because I listened to his interview where he said it was Emery that was teaching him some of the basics. And you look at Jackson, even his positioning in the box is quite bad. Even his shooting technique, the way he goes about his things as a striker. Okay, he didn't start as a striker, so it's understandable, but his fundamentals are not that strong. And then you give the coach Gui, who, though, maybe talented, maybe he end up becoming a top striker, but how can you give a Chelsea, a whole Chelsea, Gui and Jackson as your main strikers for an entire season? I think they really handicap the manager a bit. So I wouldn't sack the coach. I think this time the recruitment, they need to get it right. Don't go and buy a player outside of the coach's input. Like, I think they should sit together, analyze it with the coach being there, and then don't go in for a player from Bolivia, from Estonia, and tell us that he's some talented potential kid, that whatever, and then bring him into the first team and expect the coach to now be developing him. Teams are catching up. The likes of Bournemouth and Co are catching up with the top teams. It's not like back in the day where backlist 204, 205, Chelsea, United, and Arsenal are way, way, way ahead of the other teams. Right now, teams are catching up. So if we keep on messing up the recruitment, sooner or later, we may be outside the top 5. So this time, they need to get the recruitment right. Don't go and buy a random player without the coach's input. Don't throw him Felix and Co. Like, we needed a striker. You were going for Samu, fine. Most fans didn't want him. I didn't even know about him. I won't be a hypocrite. I didn't know him, so I was not happy. I was thinking of Osimhen and the names, the top strikers. But at least, why do you go and change the last minute for Felix? And then now we have Felix, Nkunku, Palmer, all of them the same position. Their best position is as a 10. So
yeah, look, I think Nkunku was supposed to be that guy, and he said he wants to be that guy. He said in interviews he wants to be the striker, play as a striker, and he wants to do that role. So I think they were banking on him coming back. Obviously, the year before he didn't play injured. I think he was on him, but unfortunately he didn't deliver.
But if
January we were going to sign a striker. We looked at strikers, but unfortunately there was not really anyone available. It's pretty hard in January to get a striker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you Chelsea, there you have a data analysis team and all that. Nkunku never really survived at Leipzig as the main striker. He was more or less like a second striker, always playing under the striker, Paulson or someone else, taking off.
Yeah, but you got to look at how Maresca approaches the game as well. He likes to use those players normally, even his previous squads. And at Leicester, he used Vardy as a false 9. And Vardy was used not as a quick attacking. He was used him as a slow sort of, like Nkunku plays a false 9 basically. So he thought he probably can work with that because Nkunku is very talented. But unfortunately, I think Nkunku hasn't been up to it. So I think they had him and Jackson sort of the guys, and Guy that third, learning, their youngster learning stuff like that. But unfortunately, it didn't work out with Nkunku. So look, we're going to sign a striker. We already know. They've said it. We're signing a striker. So, yeah, and they're not signing an 18-year-old kid this time. No, they're going to sign a much a better striker. So we'll wait and see. But, yeah, I'm definitely keeping, just to answer your question, definitely keeping Maresca. He's done very well all season with the youngest squad, the youngest squad in the Premier League by far, and basically in the top 5 leagues, the youngest squad out of the top teams. So, yeah, he's done very, very well.
At least one more season to see
a lot of players. He's improved a lot of players, and he needs momentum. Like you said, the Club World Cup's coming up, and once he gets his striker, that he needs another striker, another attacking winger that we need. We need a right-footed winger, 100%, and we need another centre back, a more, leader, more like we're saying about Guehi.
Like Guehi.
And let's not forget, we've got Esteval coming in. We've got a few players coming in, and Sergio, we've got players, although he might go to Strasbourg. We've got a lot of players already re-signed. Next season, Quenda. So the future is very bright with this team. They're growing together. The future's bright. I don't think you were saying Bournemouth and that and Wolves, they're all catching up. No, they're not catching up. They're close, but we're going to pull away next season and the season after that. We're going to pull away and we're going to be far ahead of all those things.
Look at Forest, okay? When they came through with, what's his name? Cooper. I think that was the manager. They bought a lot of I think 20 or 30 players. I don't know what they were doing.
They did like us. They basically did. They did
Yeah,
exactly what we
okay.
did.
They basically did the Chelsea. And then look at Bournemouth. Bournemouth, I think 2 seasons ago or last season, were almost in a relegation battle, if my memory serves me right.
Yeah, but
But
teams like that always do this. They have one good season, then they lose 2 or 3
they drop off.
players,
No, but
and then they drop off back to the relegation form or
you
at the
see,
bottom.
what I'm trying to tell you is
Those
that right
teams will
now,
always be there. Nottingham Forest, don't be surprised next season they'll be in the bottom half of the table.
but
Don't be
okay,
surprised
you
about
look
that.
at even Aston Villa before Emery took over from Gerrard. Look at right now where they are. Right now, they are for 2 seasons now. They are competing for European spots.
Yeah, they always
You get
needed
me?
a better manager because they were
Yeah,
investing the
but
money. They had
no,
always had a good squad.
but look at what a better manager did to elevate their level with plus right recruitments based on their budget. So I'm trying to tell
They
we
haven't won anything yet, but I know what you're saying. They've done very
yeah,
well.
yeah. So we
But
need, because I don't think United will always be trash forever and ever. I don't think Spurs will ever be
oh
trash
yeah, they won't
forever
be
and
trash
ever.
forever. But they're way behind.
Yeah, but don't you think Spurs, like, let's take United, I think their financial situation is quite really bad with a lot of their players on high salaries and they're struggling to offload them. So let's take something like Spurs. Now, Spurs has UCL. Spurs are Spurs, but let's say, assuming they go in for a good manager that knows how to, like an
No, the
Emery.
player's not good enough.
No, but let's say they go in for players, a bit of 2-3 players, and they have someone like an Emery type of manager that is able to, elevate their level a bit. That means they'll also be competing for European spots with us. That's why I'm saying that the recruitments this time, they should stop signing players outside of the manager's inputs. I'm not
They're
saying the
already in the
manager should have
Champions
the,
League by winning, but
yeah,
yeah,
but I'm
they're
trying to
not
say
changing. I don't think they're changing manager, and they're just not. The squad is not good enough, and you're not going to change that squad. You don't finish 17th in the Premier League, and you're going to change. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. They're not gonna. They're going to be mid-table next season, probably best 7, 8,
but what if they
6,
sack
7th, 8th,
Ange
maybe best. But
in the
they
course of the
can't
season?
buy. They can't buy 10, 15 players. They can't
No,
do
no,
that. They've got a
I'm not
lot of
saying they should
players, a
buy.
lot
You
of
see,
salaries.
no,
They can't
no.
do that. They
You're
can't buy
getting me
many
wrong.
players. They'll only
You're
be able
getting me
to buy
wrong.
2 or 3 players, maybe.
No, you're not getting me right. I'm trying to tell you that no, of course they can't afford to buy 10 players. No, even that's not good for squad planning. But let's say they get 3 or 4. I'm not saying world class because they're not a lot of world class players, but good players that is able to elevate their levels a bit to a conference league position, or let's say an Europa League position, and we don't still get our recruitments right.
No. We're gonna get
It
our
narrows
recruitment
the gap
right.
a bit.
It's already
Yeah,
been put out there. We're looking for a striker. We're looking for a left winger or right-footed winger. We're looking for the centre back, and we've got already those other players coming in. It's all going to depend if we qualify for the Champions League. If we qualify for the Champions League, you're going to see some really good top players coming in. If we don't, and I'm actually okay with us not. If we don't, I'm happy with the Europa League. I think it's still progress.
yeah.
Then maybe not quite those signings, but the season after, you're going to see those signings. It's always
Okay.
the project has always been a 5-year project to get these players together, young, they develop together. You keep the good ones, the rest ones get loaned out or they get sold, and we don't really lose money on them
But
because we haven't lost money on anyone because
yeah,
that's the structure, the way it's set up. And when this team is ready to compete at the high levels, then they're going to add 2 or 3 superstars, how they said, to complete the team. That's always been the project and the vision, and they've made that very clear. So if we qualify for the Champions League, we're probably going to fast forward that a little bit, and they're going to sign some really, really top talented players.
yeah.
Yeah, so
But
let me read some comments, Koi. I'll
okay.
come back to the panel.
Let
So
Tobago take over the show.
yeah, we have who is a paparazzi. B says
Oh my days, what a name.
is he fit? Yes, he's fit. So he says, I hope we qualify because I miss my team in the Champions League 100%. And then we have Terry Diamond says the problem right there is a lot of smallest teams are now getting the right type of manager and feed their team and are cooking. Okay, I hear you. And also Lee again says, yo, don't judge any team. Yeah, it seems like this guy likes the way judge. So we have Terry says, I don't think Nottingham Forest will be mid-table next season. They might actually be challenging for the title. I don't think so. So anyway,
No. The title
no,
is
no,
too
no,
far.
wait,
The title
wait,
is far.
Koi. We're going we're going to come back for this comment after reading all the comments because I
Okay.
need to read them. And also, we have Monk says you trust those putting directors to do that. I personally don't trust them, but again, hopefully this time they make it right. And Terry says that also include Newcastle and Aston Villa. Well, we'll wait and
That's true.
see.
That's true. That's true. Newcastle and
And
Aston Villa are also competing with us for European spots. That's true.
no, it's talk about the title. So Monks says they do not know how to build a winning team. Well, we can agree to disagree because there's no way we're going to spend 100 million for Enzo Fernandez, even Moses Caicedo, and say we are not ready to compete or build a winning team.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think as much as fans we want us to win everything, we need to be patient. So guys, let's go to this comment and then I'm going to come back again. The guy I'm waiting for is this comment right?
Yep.
I'm going to come back, guys. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, look, Nottingham Forest will not be. He's saying they're not challenging for the
No,
title.
no, no, no. They are
Nottingham
not
Forest will not
challenging. There's no way
be
they are
challenging for
challenging.
any title. Not the way they play, unfortunately. They don't
It's not
have those
sustainable.
players.
Yeah.
They don't have the depth. First of all, they've been very lucky this season. That injury wise, none of the key players got injured. So, yeah, look, will they improve the squad a little bit? A little bit, but it depends where they finish as well. And
Yeah, that's
you
true.
can't with PSR and all these new rules. They can't just go out and spend big. It just
Spend.
doesn't. You
Yeah,
can't do it.
that's true. That's true.
They're not going
That's
to
true.
have. They don't make enough money by stadium commercially. They're not a
Revenues and
big.
all that. Yeah.
They're not a big brand, so you're not going to be able to sign players and do that. Yeah, just continue there for 1 sec. I'll be back in 1 second. Sorry.
Okay. All right. All right. So yes. So as I was saying, I think the recruitment needs to get. They need to get it right because we have right now. It's back in the day we had the traditional four. That was Arsenal, Chelsea, United, and then City. And then now we have teams like Newcastle and Aston Villa also competing for European slots with us. So I think the recruitment, as I said earlier to Dante, they need to get the recruitment right.
Yeah, sorry,
Recruitment
that
this time.
boy. Just my
Yeah.
son, my little son came. So
Oh, no worry. Hello. Yeah, no worries. So as I was saying, back in the day, the traditional four was just it was Chelsea, Arsenal, City, United, Liverpool. Sorry, before City came, it was Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, United. And then City came to join. And right now we
yeah,
have Aston Villa and then Newcastle joining. That's what I'm saying. The recruitment this time around, they need to get it right. But I'm being optimistic as you are. I think they are learning their lessons right now. I like the way they are going about things. But we need to get it right because these teams too are gradually, that's Newcastle, Aston Villa, are also gradually catching up. Because if they're not catching up, we wouldn't be competing with them for a Champions League spot right at the very end of the season. We should have then sealed it a long time ago. So this time they shouldn't handicap the manager by buying profiles that we don't need. Profiles that we don't need. They should look at what we need. They said they have a data analysis team. What is the use of this data analysis team if you can't
yeah.
pinpoint
But to be
things?
fair, this team,
Yeah,
besides the physical striker for blah blah, this team suited
yeah,
Maresca perfectly. They're all technical players, possession based. He suited Maresca perfectly. Wide wingers because he likes touchline wingers. The squad we had suited him perfectly. Besides the striker, even though Palmer suits him perfectly for his system that he likes to play, but not against low blocks. That's where you need a more proper number 9. And Maresca said that recently. He said he needs he needs a proper number 9, especially against
because
low block.
yeah, I remember when we were playing against Ipswich, the match, the preview. He was like, he said Delap is a true striker or something. I'm paraphrasing. And when it came to Jackson, he gave a comment that is like he was, I don't know, low key trying to say something that he wants a traditional striker besides Jackson. That's what we
No,
need.
he said it clearly.
Yeah,
He
he
wants
actually
a
said it
proper
that way.
number, a physical that can
Yeah,
play when we cross the ball, that he can aerially. He wants a number. He wants to have that option because against
yeah,
low blocks, you need that. You've seen Jackson. He can't do nothing against low blocks because there's no space.
yeah. That's true.
He
That's
can't
true.
link up the play. He can't run in behind. He's very good against teams that give space. Jackson has been very good.
Yeah.
once you have a low block team, Jackson, well, he can't compete with that because one, he's not strong enough, he's not aerially dominant, and he's likes to run into space and link up play, drop deep and link up play.
And then from next season going, most of the teams will be facing will be teams that will sit in a low block because now they will respect us. At the beginning of the season, they're not really showing us much respect.
Exactly.
But when they saw that we
They
started
didn't do
winning,
that at the start. They thought we were the same against
exactly.
Argentina. They thought it was the same type, but no, that changed. So we caught them by surprise, and that's why we did so well. 100%. Yes.
Yeah. So we need to this time around. I'm trusting them to do the right thing because next season a lot of teams will sit in that 5-4-1 off the ball kind of approach. A lot of teams, maybe the bigger teams that may not do that, but
the bigger teams won't. But we, we don't do too bad against them.
Let's say
I think
majority of the rest of the, let's say the 14 teams or the 13 teams would most likely go in that kind of formation or that kind of approach. So we need to find a way around it, just like the way Arsenal face low blocks, City face low blocks. If we're able to if they're able to get the recruitment right, then this low block thing won't become an issue. But if they get it wrong, it will worry us. So I'm praying, I'm hoping, and I'm optimistic. Actually, I'm optimistic this time.
Yeah, look, I always knew after the December period there, we were going to play 5-6 low block teams in a row, and I knew this young team would struggle against those. I knew it because I knew it's not gonna go too well because we saw that in between a couple of games they struggled when we were on that good run of form. So I knew that's going to be a challenge for them. They're going to struggle. Also because they were still learning Maresca. Maresca was still learning the players, and the system they were playing. They weren't quite executing as well. The players. They were still out of position, and they were still wanting to open up and basically play basketball up and down like Pochettino did. But Maresca saw that, and he actually changed that after very well. And I think we're much more solid defensively now because the players get it. They can't just bomb forward every time and go, 2 against 5. They got to slow it down, bring the ball back, keep possession, get them. I know fans don't want to see that, but that's the tactical best way to do it because otherwise,
you see the fans that complain about that. I don't even understand them because I was watching Arsenal versus PSG. I think the second leg, it got to a point where PSG were basically playing like Chelsea, like they're just passing. Arsenal were trying to go, that kind of back and forth, and Enrique just decided, okay, no, let's hold on to the ball.
Exactly.
Pass it. Because you can't run up and down. They are human beings with hearts like us, even though they train more than us. But you can't be running up and down for 90 minutes. It doesn't make sense.
That was his style, and we had like 80% of players out.
We didn't have the players for that kind of, and that kind of.
And we were winning, but some of the games we were winning by like 3-2, 4-3.
Yeah, that kind of gun-ho football like Klopp is not sustainable. No wonder the Liverpool players broke down. Because if you look at Liverpool this season, he's played majority of the first 11, the same lineup for a lot of games.
More possession based.
Yeah, so they're not falling down like ants or like flies because now the physical demand was not so much.
He's used the same kind of system, but more possession based and attack when the time is
necessary.
Right. Yeah.
They sit Liverpool at certain points in the game. They sit when they are leading so that they don't have to physically strain themselves. So it helped them. Because Gravenberg was basically played almost all the matches.
Exactly, and that's why I said Maresca is done very. That's why I would keep him because I
think for me, I agree with you. I'm Maresca.
Yeah, he's very good at that. I think he makes changes at halftime. He makes changes. People are saying that he's a one-trick pony. He's not a one-trick pony.
No, he's not. He showed a lot of tactical variations. Honestly speaking, for that one, if they say that, I don't agree with him. He showed a lot of tactical variations during the season. He's tried to improvise and try and find solutions and all that. So for that one, that's why I want him to get the materials. I'm praying we make UCL so that you can get the top strikers because the way the league is right now, if we get the strikers, for me, my preference is Osimhen if we got UCL. If you have to get the strikers, the league right now, it's not like back in the day where City are getting 100 points, where now it's like you have to be perfect. Right now, you don't really have to be perfect throughout the 38 matches. You need to be perfect, let's say 30 matches or more, and you can win the league. Because at certain points in time, that's why Slot said he was even surprised that we fell off. But I knew we would fall off, and I agreed with Maresca that we are not ready to compete because I looked at the profile of the team, especially in the attack, the striker. We couldn't consistently rely on him. And then We also not having Palmer's numbers, the numbers Palmer had last season. If he was to have that this season, I'm sure we would have been in the UCL spots a long time ago. We would have secured it a long time
Oh yeah,
ago.
if Palmer didn't go on his bad run,
Yeah,
I think we would have been comfortably in the Champions
yeah.
League spot.
But right
Unfortunately,
now,
look,
so
he's a young
it's not
player. He's going
far
to go
off.
for a tough spell always. It's just been a bit longer than normal, but
Yeah,
hopefully, he played a bit better last game against Liverpool, a little bit better against Liverpool. He did really well, so hopefully he's getting it back. But yeah, that's a big. Even though Jackson as well, his form wasn't good. But even though we missed him when he was injured, because if we had him, it
yeah.
might have been a little bit better, a bit different.
Bit better, yeah. But I also think Palmer too, probably this season he was now getting used to being man marked. You see, in the previous last season, no one really knew much about Palmer. We knew probably he's just this talented kid from the City Academy, and he was shining. And the Premier League, when you're a player and begin to shine, now opponents plan for you. That is why even Maresca was saying he has to adapt to being man marked now, because now they are not going to let you have that kind of freedom. Like Saka, you see, Saka always is double. Is he being man marked by 2 players or 3 players? That kind of thing. Right now, you are commanding those kind of Eden Hazard level of attention on the pitch. So I
Saka's
think
going to
that
have like 6 goals in the Premier League this season.
yeah, I think that kind of, I think that was a period of adaptation where now he was getting used to being man marked. Like there's someone following you every time. Back last season, you could ghost here, ghost there, go there. Right now, when you're playing, the opponent is where's Palmer, where's Palmer, where's Palmer. But I think he was adapting. But I think he has adapted well, and I'm sure next season.
Well, look, the good thing is we're not Palmer FC anymore.
Yeah, and that's also another thing I'm very, very happy the coach did with the team, because during those phases where Palmer was down, other players like Enzo, Neto, and others also stepped up. If not for them, we wouldn't be at this
Cucurella,
stage. Yeah, Cucurella, they all stepped up. But it was last season, and Palmer had that dip. I'm sure we would have probably finished around 10th or something. Yeah, so I that's why I want Maresca to stay. They just need to get there. He's showing me good fundamentals as a coach. They need to get the recruitment right this time around. I'm just hoping, especially when we get the UCL. Hopefully, we get the
So
UCL qualification today. They need to
let me,
get the recruitment right.
let me read some comments, guys, because I think we are far behind when I was away. So anyway, before I read the comments, if you're new, please kindly subscribe to the channel. We are getting closer, guys, to 900 subscribers. So please push me to get near that number. So Monk says it's been 3 years already. I think it's talking about maybe building. And also, I'm going to call him Beats because I don't want to butcher his name. He says, with Papa Crazy Beats. So I just want to continue with Beats. Says, Nottingham Forest can't challenge yet, but they are a very good team. And it says facts. So I don't know what he's talking about because I was not here. And if my boy here, Daniel, save him, Maresca, Osman in, we stand out. Big up. I need a win for my birthday. Happy birthday, bro. Hopefully we win. Hopefully we win for your birthday. And also Daman says, I just hope the boys turn up today and get us UCL football. A lot is riding on this game. Looking for us to Chelsea for calling it now. It's going to be a battle. 100% it's going to be a battle. Also, another thing, since Manchester United lost today, right? I mean on Wednesday, they might go there on today, right? At Old Trafford and produce some magic. We'll never know. Magic. We'll never know. This is football. But I don't want to trust. I don't trust.
No, you see, we are hoping, but I don't trust this United team. But you're right. Logically speaking, I think if they lose their last game at home, I think if they had won the Europa by now, they'll be in cloud 9. But
Yeah.
now that they've lost, Amorim, I don't think you want to lose your last match. At least give the supporters some hope, because if Amorim has to lose this match next season, there's a lot of pressure on you to start very well within your first 10, 15 games. If you start slow, they'll definitely sack you. Because since you came, we are all saying United squad is shit. It's, excuse my language, is bad and all that. But is it so bad to the point where you have to be 17th, 16th? Like, is it that bad? You see, so Amorim, he really needs to win this match to give them a kind of hope. And then preseason too, he needs to be winning. Because I'm sure next season if he starts slow, like how he started since he came, they would sack him by game week 12 or 13. Because they can't also afford to miss out on UCL again. Look at the way United, they are laying off a lot of their workers because of
Sorry, Nico,
their
sorry to
fight.
cut in, Koi. Tobega,
Yeah.
I need to go, so I'll talk to you guys.
Sure,
Nice to
sure,
talk to
sure.
you,
That's
Koi.
fine.
And Tobega, yeah, I'll speak to you later. You'll be on
Yeah.
later on Chelsea Perspective.
Yeah, I'll be on coach's channel
All right,
later
man.
on.
We'll see you there. I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
Yeah,
Sure.
Take care, guys.
thank you for coming. I appreciate it. So,
So I'm looking at the as I was saying, I was looking at United. Amorim needs to win this game as a kind of a lifeline, a bit like giving him a bit more time, and then have a very good preseason and start well. Because if you are starting the league and game week 8 or on the 8th match, 8th game of the season or 10th game of the season, you are around 11th or 12th or 13th. They won't say you are still teaching them your philosophy. Premier League results buy you time, not words.
yeah,
Results that buy you
100%.
time. Graham Potter like this, he's on a short leash. He's on a short leash right now. Winning matches buy you time. We can't say the process without winning matches. So I don't know, but something will happen today. I believe a shocker will happen today, but I hope that shocker is in our favor and not against us.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So Daniel says, who would be the striker who breaks down a low block? For me, Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, because Victor Osimhen, you see, my reasons for Victor Osimhen is that Victor can shoot with his foot, and he's also someone we can play as a target man. Because if you remember those days under Tuchel, we had Giroud, an
Yes.
alternative approach, and Giroud helped us in a lot of games where he was winning the aerial duels. We could kick long. People criticize Maresca for saying telling Sanchez not to go long, but people don't understand when you don't have a target man. So if you kick it long, it's more or less like saying give the ball back to the opponent and say, okay, come again at me. So it's like
Yeah.
always we have to rely on playing shots, and that narrows your approach because it's not every day you can build up from the back. Sometimes you have to go long, and having someone like Victor that can hold the ball for us and then hold it and then bring his other teammates into play would really help us. And outside of that, when teams now sit in a low block, I think we have very good crosses in our wingers. Our wingers are quite good crosses. I look at
Yeah,
Neto
100%.
and his crosses, not all of them are perfect though, but majority of them, I feel like if he had someone who could head the ball, he would be having more assists and he will be seen more favorably in the fan base as compared to now where some are just saying he's just a road runner, he's just a head down merchant and all those things. So having someone of the profile of Victor Osimhen or Victor himself, if Victor Osimhen, you are listening to this, please, we need you. Please cooperate with us. If you are
Yeah,
listening, cooperate with that. We need you because teams will sit back. Next season, I don't expect teams to open up and say, I'm come to play against Chelsea. Immediately we start the match, they are going back into a low block. So if it's a low block, that means low blocks to break them down is either by shooting from distance, or that's why I'm happy Andre Santos is coming, and I hope we keep him because he's quite good from shooting from distance, or having someone who is a good number 9 and then be crossing it, and either the person heads it or scores it with the feet, because Jackson's poor box movements really affects our dynamism. We don't have many varieties to attack because the profile of the striker we have in Jackson is quite limited when he meets teams that don't leave spaces behind for him. So yeah, having someone like Victor, I think Victor fits us perfectly like a glove, honestly speaking. His head is good, his
yeah,
feet is good. Yes, he misses chances sometimes, but overall, I think his benefits outweigh his disadvantages, yeah, in my opinion.
yeah, 100%, Koi. I think if we're going to get Victor Osimhen, we need to make sure today we win and get a
Yeah,
Champions League spot, because there's no way Victor Osimhen will come to Chelsea,
not
get a
at all,
Conference
not at
League
all,
or
not
the
at
Europa
all,
League.
not
So
at all, not at all.
that's why I said even on my tweets, I was saying that I want us desperately to qualify for the Champions League so that they can see the mentality from the sporting directors, even the owners,
Yeah.
what they're going to do in terms of bringing in players, right?
Um.
Because as much
Yeah.
as Chelsea fans were saying, bring
Yeah.
Victor Osman, bring blah, blah, blah. What
Yeah.
about the sporting director? So I just
Yeah.
want to, that's why I'm desperate for us
Yeah.
to qualify for the Champions League.
Can I address the comments on the screen right now? He's saying we
Yes,
spent
safely.
1.5 billion. We don't have an elite striker. Let me explain the story in a short way. Like, I'm just making a short story. The whole thing is that Todd Bowley wanted to buy Chelsea. He didn't have enough money to buy Chelsea on his own. So he employed other people, that's clearly, to come and finance it. So they worked as a team. Clearly was not a football institution. They had nothing to do with anything football. So Clearly were just like, they were just helping Todd Bowley, and then they will get their profits. Then so Todd Bowley became the sporting director, because remember at that time, Granovskaya and then Peter Cech decided to step away. So when Todd Bowley was running as sporting director, he went in for experienced players in Koulibaly and Co, not the right profile. So we spent them. So then 1.5 billion. I agree, we didn't spend it wisely. So when he did that, by January, that was when I think some of the sporting directors were in place. They get it. So the you see, and then you have to understand that Chelsea were sold under conditions that has never happened before. Because if we had a duration where the club had to be sold, or else it would be dissolved. So yes, we agree that the 1.5 billion, we are all aggravated and sad by it, that after spending 1.5 billion, we still don't have these positions, key positions. But life goes on. We make mistakes. What is important is about learning from your mistake and then using that to improve upon your present situation. And fortunately for us, our situation is not where it cannot be resolved. It can be resolved. Even though, yes, we spend so much money. Nobody's denying that here. We've spent so much money, 1.5 billion. That's a lot of cash. But can we keep on crying about it? No. We have to move forward. So moving forward, that's what we are looking at. Me that I'm here, I know that they've wasted a lot of that 1.5 billion on certain players that were not necessary. That right now we are still trying to even offload. But right now we can't still cry over spilt milk. It's time to move forward. And moving forward, moving forward starts from today. Get the UCL. Now this time around, go for players that elevates the team. You can still buy your kids from Estonia, from Bolivia, from Faroe Islands, and all those things. But right now, the first team, that's Chelsea, we need to be winning, because when you win matches, when you win trophies, it brings sponsors who bring you a lot of money. And if you are winning trophies, you can now convince the Chelsea pitch owners and co that the expansion is necessary. Because if you are winning, everybody is happy. When Maresca
Exactly.
was second, I was not hearing Maresca out. I was not hearing 1.5 billion anymore. I was not hearing that. He was being praised. But when we started losing, or when we started dropping points, that's when all of a sudden, oh, we've spent 1.5. So when you're winning, nobody cares about how much you spent. When was the last time Caicedo's price tag was mentioned? Nobody remembers. But last season, it was mentioned all over. When was the last time Enzo Fernandez 100 million price tag was mentioned? Nobody cares when you are winning. So right now, yes, we agree. We've spent a lot of money, but we are trying to resolve it. We are trying to move forward. We can't keep on crying and saying we spent 1.5 billion. It's true, we should have been by now, with that amount of money spent, we should have been at the top or closer to challenging. But we didn't spend it well due to circumstances. But we can't keep on dwelling on the past. It's time to move on. And that is what we are trying to do. I would have to go for now and join you later. I have some one or two errands to run, but you can surely send me the link at any point in time, or I'll hit you up when I return. So thank you
Yeah,
very much for giving me the opportunity to talk on your platform. Please, everyone here, please like and subscribe. Let's help the channel. Please, when you like it, it doesn't subtract any amount of money from you. So please, we need your support. Please like and subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you can be notified anytime there's a stream or a video uploaded. Thank you very much once more, and have a nice day, and bye-bye.
thank you, Koi. I appreciate it, bro, for coming here.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
So I'm gonna read the comments and continue about the match because we didn't talk more about the match. We talk about there's a lot of your comments and I appreciate it. I think it's the very first time for me getting a lot of comments, so I appreciate it. It's always just like Koi says, please kindly subscribe to the channel. If you're new, hit the like button, and then also like the stream, guys. Like the stream. We are going to the YouTube algorithm is going to attract more viewers so that they can join also on the chat to talk more about Chelsea. So I'm gonna give my opinion about this also from Manchester. We spend 1.5 billion and we don't have a elite striker, goalkeeper, center back, wingers, 100%. And I remember me and Anopa we came thinking about these certain things, right? For example, we brought Joao Felix, right? And we already have Nkunku and Kolpama. What is the need to buy Joao Felix when we have already two number 10s? We added another a third number 10s, and we created a problem for the coach, even for the players, because we all knew that Kolpama currently is the main man, especially after a season that he had last season. So there was no way Enzo Maresca will drop Kolpama. Yes, we blame him in terms of not creating a sort of a competition there, playing Kolpama every game. 100%, I agree with you. But at the same time, we already knew that Kolpama is the main man. Was not necessary to buy Joao Felix. And we did that, and we neglected the striker position, which I was annoyed. I said it, buy Joao Felix and get a striker, I'll be happy. And we didn't do that. Same thing in January. The same player that we brought in the summer. What happened? He played 3-4 games and boom, he was standing on the bench. So it's annoying. And you have DJ Safe in the house. So DJ, I've sent the link of the stream in the Chelsea Perspective group. So if you like to join, you're most welcome. So I'm going to address the comments and I talk about the insights of the game and I address some transfer news. Then that's it, guys. So thank you for being here. Says our midfielder is the only elite part of our team, 100%. And we're going to add, I think, Dario Sugo, Andre Santos. And also, behind Okay, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. My network again. It's not just Cole Palmer. Jackson Mariweke got a major role in our mid-season slam. 100%. Whenever the team played well, then Cole Palmer will perform well. I promise you, 100%. That's why I say, Cole Palmer, we need you today. We need you, my boy, today. This is the kind of game that we know you'll turn up. So, Cole Palmer, we need you to win this game for us. I don't care if today going to be called Palma FC. I don't care. Just turn up today. Everyone, Neto, Nonimanweg, whoever plays on the pitch, start from the goalkeeper until our attackers. So we need everyone today. No matter what, it's a must-win game, guys. It says Victor Osman is also leader, 100%. That's why I want him. And then Terry says the Victor Osman media counter drum. Don't think it has to be just him. There's another Victor rocking up numbers 100%. I even said it, if you follow me on X, right? I said I want Victor Osman or Victor Gokares. That's it. I want those two. If not, give me Isaac or someone is closer than them. As much as Lim Delep is good developing, I don't want him right now at Chelsea. I'm tired of developing every player from the goalkeeper to the striker. It's so stressful for a coach. How many chances do we create and how many chances did we miss this season? I think we are the top 3. I'm going to review those threads when we're going to do the Premier League or the season review after the game we played on Wednesday. I'm going to do a stream about season review. So, yeah, man, we need to address some things in the summer. We just need one of the victors up front. We are sorted 100%. Since I understand, I know the bank already. I know the bank already. Say, or they are talking to each other. Since the sporting directors don't learn, that's the problem. 100%. I have issues with the sporting directors. Even DJ Saves will tell you have the same issues with the sporting directors because there's some top players in the market and you're not getting them. And we go for the unknowns and everything. Big up DJ, big up bro, big up. It's been a while. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. So let me read DJ's. Okay, let me send the link to DJ. Yeah, big up DJ, big up DJ. I've sent you the link via GM. So big up DJ. So I'm going to go for the insights of the game because we haven't talked much about the game as like Dante and God talking about other aspects. So I'm going to do this. So guys, if you're new, please kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll be very helpful, guys. They'll be very helpful. So this is the team form. Forest 1-1, draw 2, lost 2, and they won against them. And in other hands, Chelsea won 4, lost 2 against Newcastle, which I'm annoyed because that red card, man, should have done better. So in terms of the insights, let me read the insights. Insights says Forest have just got 5 goals in a created this season, which is I think it's 23. Yeah. So this is the inside, guys. Noni Madueke scored against Nottingham Forest last game in the at the Stamford Bridge. So, like again today, we need you, bro. We need you today to stay sharp, to stay focused because I know you got it. That's why I'm annoyed with Noni Madueke. I know he's a good player, but sometimes it's so frustrating, right? Even against Manchester United, he had 2 chances. The first one, I'm gonna say give 50. The second one, bro, that is a clear goal, scoring opportunity, and he missed it. That's my only concern with Noni Madueke. He's a fantastic player, but again, those kind of moments that elevates you as a player, so that most people can rate you, talk about you. So this is my only concern with Noni Madueke. So this is the predicted lineup, right? Oh, they said, oh, so they say Ray Sanchez in goal, Marco Corella, Levi, Tosin, Caicedo right back. Oh my gosh. I don't think so. I think Rhys James must start, but again, we'll wait and see. That's very interesting. We have Lavia, Fernandez, Sancho, Palma, Madueke, and Neto. I think they might be right, but I'm not sure. Moses Caicedo right back. I want Rhys James to start this game. Show us that leadership when we need you most. Give Rhys James, let's say, 60 minutes. If he's struggling, bring on Malo Gusto. I'll be happy. There's no margin for errors, right? So in terms of Forest sales, Ola Aina, Nico Williams, Morello, Milankovic, Dominguez, Singari, Anderson, gives out Elanga, and Chris Wood. Wow. Chris Wood. Oh man, this guy. That's why for me it's very important to start tossing. So I know Dante and Koi agree with their lineup, but again, I'm gonna bring my lineup, my own lineup. I'm gonna bring my own lineup. Personally, right? I'm gonna say this. I don't think this guy starts. Right? I don't think this guy starts. So I think we might see something like this. I think we might see something like this today. I This is my preferred lineup personally. Lee says no, not Caicedo at the right back because the opponent will be tough. So we need experienced right back there, 100%, 100%, bro, 100%. That's why I'm saying that personally, I don't think, I don't think we need to play Moses Caicedo there. So let me know in the comment section what do you think about my lineup. So this is my predicted lineup. So I think we should play like this. So in terms of in the game, I think we might see something like this, right? In the game. During the match. We might see Noni dripping this side. And as you always, let me do like this actually. Lavia. No. I want Cocorella to be here because Cocorella has been doing well for us. This is the structure that we normally use, right? This is something like this. I'm not sure Cole Palmer plays the first 9 personally. It says I would rather go for Chalaba because of his experience. But again, do you think Chalaba and Levi can deal with Woods? That's my only concern. Forest are so good in terms of set pieces, so we need Tosan there. So that's my only concern. So I get you, but again, it's my only concern. So DJ, if you're still watching, I did send you the link via a DM. I sent you the link via a DM. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be grateful. So in terms of my score prediction, guys, before we talk about the transfer news and everything, and we call it a day so that you can focus on the game. My score prediction will be Chelsea 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Or Chelsea 3, Nottingham Forest 2. Or no matter 5-5, 5-4, 6-5. I don't care. As long as we win this game. All I care about Chelsea winning because I don't think we're going to keep clean sheet. Even Forest, I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. Also on the bench, we'll have likes of Sancho and Nkunku, Mark will be there. Even Tarek George if you need them. Big up the chat, big up Terry, big up Terry. So guys, this is my lineup. This is my preferred lineup actually. So I don't know what is going to happen, but this is my preferred lineup. So you let me know what you think about my lineup. So I'm gonna read some things on X, and we call it a day. So this from Absolute Chelsea says Chelsea have only lost their final league match in 2 of their past 13 campaigns, 8 wins, 3 draws. And also says Nottingham Forest have not beaten Chelsea at home since 2-1, 2-0 victory at City Ground in January 1997. So hopefully today We don't see that. Also, I think there's another one, right? Says Nottingham Forest goalkeeper Marcels have failed to keep a clean sheet in their previous 7 Premier League matches. So I think we are good. I think we are good, guys. So let me share some transfer news that I wanted to address. So guys, if you haven't subscribed, please can subscribe to the channel. I think that will be very helpful, guys. I do want to read some quotes from the players and everything. I need to talk about the transfer news. So, okay, let me do this. So I'd like to ask you guys on the chat, what do you think about this? So if they cost the same fee, who would you take? Garnacho or Joao Pedro, guys? On the chat, let me know, who would you choose? Who would you choose to play for Chelsea between these two players? Let me know, guys, on the chat. Let me know. Who would you choose? Who would you choose, guys? Personally, Pedro. I like Pedro. But again, I don't think it's what we need. We need to sell Joao Felix and Kunku. I will say buy him, but I'm not sure he is what we need at the moment. So let me share some transfer news, guys. Bear with me. So this is what Manchester United is asking for. Alejandro Garnacho. Says Manchester United won 60 to 7 million for Garnacho, according to Chris Wheeler. Hell no. Hell no. He says none of them. Yeah, that's why, like I said, I don't think we need either of them right now. Personally, I think we need Victor Gogorez or Victor Osimhen or Isaac if Newcastle don't make it to the Champions League spot. And Terry says we've got a lot of players to get rid of before we can even talk about buying anyone. 100%, bro. 100%. 100%. So Manchester United are crazy. They're desperate for money. They're asking for kind of money for this. Hell no. Okay. According to Vince from Jacob Sternberg, says Chelsea are considering a striker and are competing for Liam Delap and Benjamin Sesko. Options are taking include Garnacho, Morgan, Rogers, Jamie Gittings. The budget will be boosted by top 5 finish. Bro, look at their names there. Liam Delap, Sesko, another Leipzig player. Hell no. I'm not sure about Sesko. Guys on the chat, let me know what you think about Sesko. Sesko, guys, what do you think about Sesko? If it comes to Liam Delap and Sesko, I'd rather go for Liam Delap. I'm sorry. Nah. Nah. It says our sporting directors are definitely stupid enough to try this Garnacho deal. Bro, I don't understand this Garnacho deal. And that's why I say we have different opinions. Even on X, some fans want him, some fans don't want him. So clearly we have different opinions. and I agree on that. So personally, I don't think we need him. Personally, that's my take anyway. So says Newcastle, Liverpool, and Juventus are interested in signing Christopher Nkunku from Chelsea this summer, according to Mercado Web. It remains to be seen. To be honest, if you go to Liverpool, Newcastle, or even Juventus, let it be straight cash. Don't be a loan. I don't want another loan. Let it be straight cash. Let it be a straight cash, guys. So with Nkunku, like I said, I don't think Nkunku is a bad player, but again, I don't think he fits what you need at the moment. I don't think he fits what you need at the moment. So, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. So let me read some quotes again. This quote from the real British winger, former Manchester player. Actually, it's still a Manchester United player. It says, I know Chelsea a little. They're a very good team. I've played against them for a few times, but we also a great team. We beat Real Madrid, who are the best team in the world, and we drew with Barcelona. Bro, final 50-50. But anyway, we see you on the final. See you in the final. But he might be a problem against us because he's getting for and he's a fantastic player, especially his left foot killing those balls. No. No. So anyway, guys, I think this is it. We call it a day. We call it a day, guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Terry says we see you at the final. 100%, bro. We see him at the final. We're going to cook us, we cook you, but hopefully Chelsea win this game. We really need to win this trophy to complete all the set, to be the first team in European history to win all European competition. It says your prediction, bro. I said Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 2, or Nottingham Forest 2, Chelsea 3. As long we win. As long Chelsea win. DJ, what are your score prediction, DJ and Terry and everyone? It says for both games. In the Real British game, I think we're going to win 3-1. Man, La Liga and the Premier League, two different kind of leagues. If it was Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, I would say, okay, that is a tough game. But Real British, nah. I don't want to undermine them, but again, I think we have a good opportunity to beat them. So give me a prediction, DJ, for both games as well. Give me a prediction for both games as well. Give me a prediction for both games as well. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for you. I'm gonna share something also. Says Andrew Santos will finally be part of Chelsea main squad. Coach Enzo Maresca called him up to participate in the Club World Cup. Bro, this is normal. This was expected to happen. Andrew Santos developed very well at Strasbourg. It's time for him to come back at Chelsea and be one of our top players. Says one only. It says big up, bro. It's first time seeing you. If you haven't subscribed, please kindly subscribe. And latest is greatness because I'm about to wrap up. So Terry says Nottingham Forest 2, Chelsea 4, Real British 2, Chelsea 3. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to do a stream for the Real British game, but again, I'm not sure. I'll try, guys. I'll try. I'm not sure. I'm not going to promise. Says win or nothing, 100%. Like I said, it's a must-win game for us. So let me add DJ before we wrap it up.
Hey,
Big up,
big up,
DJ, bro.
man. Big up to Bigger. What's going on, bro? You good?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, mate. Not bad, not bad. Just looking forward to for our most important game for me before next week's final. For me, I think this is the one we need to win. If we win this game and obviously don't achieve, obviously I want to achieve both, but obviously and win the cup. But for me, this is a must. This is a must win for me today, bro. We want that Champions League, man. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, man. I don't know how long you've been streaming for, bro. As I came on earlier on, and I don't know what's been said or what's been talked about. But I wouldn't underestimate my thing would be is I wouldn't underestimate Nottingham Forest, mate.
Mm.
For me, people can say to them, oh, they've only come good this season. I've heard that all been mentioned, this season, but Nottingham Forest haven't been lucky, bro. They're up there for a reason. And I think people got to understand one thing. This owner of theirs is very ambitious. And I think you saw that in their last game against where was it they played? They played
Leicester City.
Leicester, not Leicester City, bro. And he came is it Leicester? And he came onto
Yeah.
Santos so badly the way he spoke to him, because he was just livid at obviously that they drew a game like this, and also because of the injury to their striker as well. But this guy don't mess around, mate. This guy is ambitious, and people forget.
But
You know, they are former Champions League champions as well, bro. We shouldn't
mm,
shouldn't not Nottingham Forest for that reason, bro. Yeah, I always say this. They're there for a reason. They got that star on their chest, on their badge, because they are a good team, and they're start. Yeah, it's not been great this season with some clubs not being to their highest levels, and they've taken advantage of it. But I still think Nottingham Forest will go again next season. But this for us, this game this afternoon has got to be a must win for me. Be tough though.
yeah, 100%. One only hex. This is my preferred lineup. So give me a thought. What do you think about the lineup? Because it says preferred lineup, and then
Mm.
this is my lineup. So DJ, what are your thoughts about the lineup?
Do you
Who
know?
would you change there?
Do you know what, bro? I'm going to change the whole format, and I'm going to change the whole team. When I say change it, look, it's a good lineup, but I'm just going to add a few things to it. For me, look, if I noticed you've not put Lav, you put in that team, man. You put Enzo as a first. Yeah, you put Enzo. I probably would say that is the team I'd go for. The only one I probably would say is he may. I don't know whether he'll change the formation is another thing, but I believe Chalobah should start in this game. I think he's been for me. I think he's been our best centre back at the club since he's come back from loan. Whatever people want to say,
Yeah,
for me,
I
that's just my honest view and opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you with Chalaba, but my only issue is this one, right? As much as I want
Go for it.
Chalaba to start the game, I think sometimes we need to go game by game. As much as
Mm.
Chalaba is our best player, my only issue is Chris Woods, right?
Oh
My
yeah.
only my only issue is Chris Hughes. With Levi,
Mm.
I know Levi Colwell will start. If he doesn't start Levi Colwell and play Tyson and Chalaba, I'll be 100% happy. But we know
Mm.
Levi Colwell mostly play all our games, right?
Mm.
So that's the only main issue. But I
Yeah.
think personally we should start Chalaba and Tosin. The only issue is Chris Wood. That guy aerial is so good. So Tosin is
He's
6'7" and is going to help us in terms of aerially. So this is my only concern. If they had a different striker, I was gonna say start Chalaba.
Do you know
But
what, bro? I'll say
yeah,
one thing to you, mate. He can be different if he wants to. Listen, we all know Maresca plays one way and one way only, right? But I like to see him surprise the opposition. Now, this is not a bad game to surprise the opposition. He can go 4-3-3 today, where he can actually fit James as your right back. You put Cucurella as your left back. You put either Tosin Chalobah or Levi Colwill as your centre backs, right? You play Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo in that midfield. And then you can play Palmer. I think for me, put Palmer on his right side because I think he's better on the right. Okay. You can play either Neto, and then it's a choice of Neto, Madueke, or I mean, obviously Neto's got to play one of the striking roles. So I'll probably put Neto as a striker because we don't have a striker. So put
something
Neto
like
as he
this.
is. Yeah, put Neto as he is, and then it'd be a toss up between Madueke and Sancho to play on that left side. And again, if you look at that midfield, he's got a strong midfield because obviously he's got Lavia and Caicedo holding. Enzo can get forward and put the balls in still forward, and he's still got Caicedo and Lavia holding that midfield. And I think that's gonna be where the key is gonna be today, bro. That midfield. Because you've got to think about the plays they've got that come. You talked about Chris Wood, right? Who's obviously their lethal strike. You also got to talk about Alanga, and you've also got to talk about Callum Hudson-Odoi, because they're going to cause some problems. And you all know once Callum Hudson-Odoi gets into this little gap here and he cuts inside and then swits the ball, you know how he cuts the ball in and shoots. This guy's going to do that a lot today. This is why I think this formation for me can stop that from happening today. Because while we've got the other formation out, I just don't know if the others will have enough pace to hold back from. I don't know if they'll be able to stop Colin and Alanga coming at them. And if they haven't got them two, then obviously you've got the deadly striker himself in Woods, who could also do us over as well. So for me, in that kind of like way, I'll probably would say something like that for me. But whether Maresca plays that formation, because he's never changed his formations around, is another thing. I don't know what your thoughts are on it.
Actually, this is my preferred lineup. Even I've produced a YouTube shows today, right? This is exactly my predicted lineup. So guys, if you haven't watched my shot, please kindly go and watch my shot also, because I think this is my lineup. We need Lavia in this game. Lavia, for me, I said it several times. Lavia is the key player for us. Moses Caicedo has been excellent, even Enzo Fernandez, but Lavia, this kid is so special. And remember, Lavia won't play in the final, right? Because he was not registered in the Conference League. So we need Lavia in this game. And this is my actual lineup.
Yeah.
This is my actual lineup. And also, I don't mind to see, let's say, this guy, right, to come back and support.
Yeah.
And as we know what he do, right? Come back and support. But my only issue if Rhys James doing that role, because we know Rhys James is a good player, but can he do that throughout the game as we are managing his fitness? And also, I think Enzo Maresca have done very well to keep Rhys James fit so that he can show out his leadership and his hunger. So this is my lineup also, DJ, for me.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you, bro. The reason why I think Reece James belongs in the team, I think he's actually found his full fitness now. I think you'll find with Reece James, people talked about the other day when he missed training, because there was has he got injured again? No, it was not that. It was something to do. I think he had a bit of an I think they said it was a bit of a. I think he said not food poisoning, but an upset stomach or something. That's why he wasn't training with the ground. So for me, look, James for me has found his full fitness. I think. The reason why I think he's so important, not only as you said, his leadership, captain for us in that team. If you saw that beautiful pass he made for Cucurella's goal against Manchester United, mate, the turn, the swivel, and the pass. I mean, that was like Cruyff's turn, that was, mate, and a lovely dip ball into the box. Yeah, and obviously Cucurella was there to put the ball on it. This is why you need Reece James in your team, because he's the only one I think who's probably the best crosser in our team, who can cross the ball. Yeah, this is why I think it'll get important. I know people will say, well, we don't have a target man to finish. You can change that as well, bro, because let's be real. He doesn't have to even go with Neto or whatever. He can still go with Mike Guhi, and he can still go with Nkuku in that team if he really wants to. They're fully fit now, but he won't do it though. But he won't do it.
The only issue with those two players, they haven't played in a while. They've been out due to injury.
Yeah,
so
that's the reason. Another reason why as well.
Yeah, but that's why I'll prefer this lineup, so that in the second half we can change, like maybe if Caicedo, Lavia, even Enzo, right, to put those players. For example, just imagine if we play this system just to contain them in for the next 20 minutes, because for me, first minute to 20 minutes, they're going to attack us aggressively. That's why we need likes of Lavia to be there, right? To control the game for us, to win the balls for us for the next 20 minutes. After that, it's going to be us. We go all attack. And if you're struggling in the second half, we'll have Tarek George, Sancho, Nkunku, even Mag will be there. That means you have options on the bench. So that's why I prefer this lineup. Just like you said, for me, I think the strongest lineup. And as much as you say you want Trevor Chalobah to start, the only issue with Trevor Chalobah study in certain games, we're going to see Reece James invading in the midfield. I don't want to see Reece James there.
No,
I don't
no,
want
no,
to
no,
see Reece James.
no. He
I
shouldn't be in
think
midfield, mate.
yes, I think Marco Corella is the perfect player for us to play in inverted role. He's so good
He's
because he can
brilliant,
play as a
mate. I mean,
midfielder, he can attack, he can score. Oh man,
mate,
so
I think
I'm not
people.
sure.
I'll be honest with you, Tobago. I think too many people this season have knocked this guy, this kid out, and saying he should be getting out of Chelsea. Right? I remember, right, I think me along with a few others were the only ones that were saying he should be staying. I remember when there was links to Manchester United when last season when Poch
Yes,
was our manager. And I think it was a couple of days before the transfer window closed or whatever it might have been. He played him in that cup game, and United
yeah,
couldn't get him. I
that
tell you
move.
what a great move that was. And had you not played in that game and United got him, oh my God, he'd be making their team good. But you know what I like about him? I don't know if you saw in Cucurella, he made a comment the other day where he said, I would never join that club because I bleed blue. He never even wanted to go to United. He even basically come out and said that, right? Yeah, he was never going to go to United. Yeah, and they were trying to make him go to United, and I'm glad he didn't go, mate. I'm so glad Poch played him in that game, and he after that he never looked back. He had an excellent Euro, as we all know, became come back a European winner, a Euro, and then this guy has just showed complete. He showed levels this season, bro. I think for me, at 5 goals from left back. You don't get many of them that do that nowadays, bruv. From left back scoring 5 goals. I mean, that is for left backs in itself. That is really good, and I think he's highest up there with Gavidol. But I think he's the other one who's only got 5 goals from left back this season, right? So
Yeah,
that tells you how far Cucurella's game has gone. And for me, he's vital to this Chelsea team now. And it's funny because they were talking about the untouchable list the other day, mentioning about players who are untouchable,
yeah,
right? I saw the likes of Cole Palmer and Caicedo being mentioned in it. Then I'm thinking, what about the likes of Enzo, Cucurella, James, Neto? Are these guys going to be not untouchable? You've only got your Cucurella. Cucurella for me should be, and James for me should be two players that should be untouchable in this team as well in terms of everything else. So look, it's going to be a tough game today, bro. I'm not underestimating a Nottingham Forest. I said this already, and any fan that does shouldn't do because they're going to make it difficult. We just know what we got to do. It's got to be drilled in their heads today. The manager's got to drill it in their heads. I'm sure they're going to go out today in this game drilling it in their heads. They've seen their two London rivals being in the Champions League, Tottenham and Arsenal. Now, if I'm a Chelsea player, that's the first thing I'll be thinking about only winning this game, but my two rivals that we can't stand as fans
yeah.
are in that competition. We've got to be in that competition. So that in itself should be something that should drive these players today, mate. And this is why I think today will be a difficult game. It will be difficult. I think in the first 20 minutes, Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, I think will be the team that is actually going to sit back because they're going to see what this Chelsea team is going to bring at them. My worry for them is once if Chelsea don't take their chances, if Chelsea start becoming if Chelsea take control of this game in the first 20 minutes but don't score, that is my worry. And if they don't score in that 20 minutes and not in front for us start finding their feet as they always would do, then they could just get us. And this is where we need to be very careful today, mate. But I'm confident we're going to win today.
He says
You there, bro?
something. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've been struggling with my Wi-Fi, so sometimes my cut me off. So
That's
yeah,
all right,
man.
bro. No worries. That's cool. It's all right. No,
Yeah.
understandable.
So Terry says we are getting it done, guys. Both games are going. Both games are gonna feel this is how we made up for fumbling both cups last season. 100%. Hopefully we do it because I think going to the Champions League, you're going to attract players like Victor Osimhen, even Kokore. So hopefully, and he says
Mm,
my lineup is looking good. And then he says, yes, definitely is a must win, 100%. And
yeah.
says, yes, Chalaba over Tosin. I agree with you, but let's see what Enzo Maresca will do. I give my different opinion. That's why I said we should start Tosin. Personally, I said I'll start Tosin and Tero Chalaba. But we know Levi Colbert is playing most of the games. So
Tobago,
go
do you
ahead.
think he left out? Do you think he left out Chalobah because he was going to play him for this game? 'Cause don't forget, he didn't play him against Manchester United, did he?
Yes, but maybe the reason why also I think maybe he knows that Harry Maguire likes to overlap and be as
Yeah.
a first man. So Tosin for me, and with Manchester United, he played very, very well.
No, he did. He did
Yeah,
play well, to be fair. He did.
aerially he won everything.
Yeah, he
Aerially
did. He
won.
did.
So I'm thinking about that. Maybe that's why he played Tosin that game. But if he plays Trevor Chalobah today, I won't complain because I think Trevor Chalobah is a fantastic player. For me personally, when we say the likes of Axel Disasi and everyone, even Renato Vega for forcing his move to Juventus, I'll keep
Yeah.
Trevor Chalobah at Chelsea. But I'm not a sporting
Yeah.
director.
I know there are a lot of fans that want Trevor Chalobah sold. They don't think he's good enough. For me, I completely disagree with that. I think he's been our best centre back since he's come back. I think the way he was treated by the club in the very beginning was disgraceful. The way they took his shirt number away from him as well. Everyone knows about his shirt number and what it means to him. That's his. That's the anniversary of his mum, and his mum passed away. That's why he had the original shirt number. And the way he was just pushed out of the club, for me, that was not nice. And the same player they went and brought back in January, because I don't think Maresca wanted him to be gone in the first place. And this is why I feel these decisions are being made over the manager's back. Some of the decisions that have
100%.
been made. And I don't think he wanted him, because we're seeing now he's choosing Trevor Chalobah quite a lot in a lot of the games. And I don't think he's disappointed since he's come back. He's been, I think, as I said it, for me, he's by far, and I know others probably got their own views and opinions, but for me, he's been by far our best centre back since he's come back to the club. For me, I think he knows the DNA at Chelsea. He's come through the ranks. He knows what it's like to win. Okay, and listen, people can turn around and say, well, DJ, look, they've not played a 4-3-3 formation all season. But players don't forget how to play these formations. They've played it before in their past. They played it under
Mm.
Tuchel. They played it under Poch sometimes. They don't know how to play these formations. It's not like you forget as a player. So for me, these players will know how to play that formation. And let's be real, a lot of these players that we brought in have been used to playing a 4-3-3 formation with their previous clubs as well. So this is why I feel that it's not a hard formation for them to fall back into if they need to use it. And and this is why I think sometimes in certain games, when you don't have a powerful striker, or you don't have that target man, sometimes it's nice to change the formation up and play that kind of way, where you can just have three wide players running at you all game, where you can have them more changing and rotating each other. So any of that front three, whether it be Madueke, whether it be Palmer, whether it will be Mudryk when he's there, or whether it's Sancho when he's there, they all know how to get into that forward line to cause problems, and that in itself will make the opposition. They'll muddle them up, because they go, who's going to play here? Who's going to go there next? They're going to find it hard to pick up these players. That's why I think sometimes it's good to change your formations in games. And if he wants to go 4-3-3 and we start winning, and then he wants to go revert back to his formation, then do that. But make sure you go out and win the game first. Make sure we're winning the game, and then you might be able to change your formation around. But if you're going to go with the same formation, sometimes a lot of teams have found out how Chelsea play now. We've been found out. And this is why people come on to Cole Palmer. It's not because Cole Palmer's regressed. It's because they found out how to play against him. It's because we play the same way, same old way. But I guarantee you, if you put Cole Palmer back on that wide right side, I reckon he'll perform again. So that's just my take on things. I know people have got different views and opinions, but that's just how I follow. That's just how I look at the situation. I'm not sure what your takes are on it, Tobago, but that's just my way of thinking, that sometimes it's good to change the formation, to get players playing better again.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. But also, I don't think we are playing the same way, right? Cole Palmer has been, if most of us we judge the players in terms of
Mm,
creating chances, assist.
yeah,
For example, against Manchester United, Cole Palmer gave two passes to Noni Madueke. He missed both of them, right? So
yeah.
that's why people are saying, "Oh, Cole Palmer didn't have a good game." If you check the games that Cole Palmer did, he score goals, right? How many chances did he create? No one's scored those opportunities. That's the
Mm.
only issue I'm having right now. Especially to the message to the sporting directors, we need a real number 9. Jackson is
Oh,
a good player,
100%, bro.
but we need a real number 9
And
so that Cole Palmer can add more assist. Cole Palmer can be
yeah,
recognized likes of De Bruyne by creating chances, getting assists.
yeah.
So that's the issue we're having at the moment. Cole
I mean,
Palmer, I don't think is a big player. The English is we are not clinical. That's the issue we're
I
having
mean,
right
to
now.
be fair to Cole Palmer, Tobago, for someone who's had a bad season, the guy still scored 15 goals for us this season. And last
exactly.
time I checked, if you look at his goals set up for players, I think of you if you check those stats, he's still second or third after Mohamed
Second,
Salah,
second,
after Mo Salah,
yes,
right?
the
Yeah.
second
So
yes
I mean,
after
for someone who we said fans have kind of like had a bit of a fans that have kind of like slightly gone and said he's been crap. I look at that and think, well, for someone who's actually had a bad season, the guy still scored 15 goals this season. And this is him playing, not in his rightful position. Because this moment in time, don't forget, Tobago, last season under Poch, he played more on the right side, right? And he let him do what he wanted with the ball. Give the ball to Cole Palmer and he'll do what he wants. Yeah. This time round, the guy's playing, he's got like a free role, if you like, in the team where he's coming
yes,
from
it's
the
a
middle
free
or he's
roll.
attacking. And he's not
Yes,
getting
it's
into
a
the
free roll.
spaces that he used to because you've got two or three players marking the guy. Whereas the last time round, yeah, you had like one guy who had a nightmare against him. Any of the wing backs that are marking him, any wing back would have a nightmare against the guy because of the way he moves with the ball, the way he sway, the way he plays that way of football. Yeah, crosses the balls in, shoots from anywhere. He was very hard to pick up. Now he's easy to pick up because you're playing him in that free role, and a lot of those players now know, okay, where is the danger in this Chelsea team? There it is. It's Cole Palmer. Let's go and get him. But then what that should do then is, brother, this is why I keep saying about when you blame when players will blame Cole Palmer. This is where I feel other players should step up because then they'll know Cole Palmer's been marked out of the game. So Cole Palmer's been marked out of the game and these guys are going for him. Then surely the other players need to step up and start doing their own business. Don't leave it to him to get you
Exactly.
the goals provided. I just don't. I mean, Enzo Fernandez this season has been great for us in that way because he's actually turned his goals assist this season has actually been good as well. To be
Wow,
fair to him,
20,
and he's
20
done very
goals,
well for us.
20, 20, 20,
Yeah,
20 GA goals
yeah.
and assists this season.
So he
I'm
stepped up a
impressed.
little bit, bro. So he
Yeah,
stepped up,
and
mate. It's just as I said, Cole Palmer for me, and this is why I'm not coming at the kid because let's be real here, Tobago, right? And whether Chelsea fans like to accept or not, this is just reality. Without Cole Palmer's goals last season, we'd have been relegated, and that's just the
100%.
facts. That's just facts. Go and look at the back tables if you want to go and look. Go and look at our last season situation, right? Without his goals last season, Chelsea could have been relegated,
100%.
and people forget about this very quickly. And this is why I'm not coming at the kid this much this evening because he still scored 15 goals, as I said, and his goals persist is actually not that bad either. Second in the league in the table at the moment. So I don't understand where he's going wrong. Why are fans turning on him and giving him a tough time? People also
And
forget he's got an injury as well. He's playing with pain injections in his ankle. People don't realise that as well.
100%.
So
Also, another thing, DJ, to add, right? That's why I say
yeah,
it's very important to play Lavia and Moses
yeah,
Caicedo in the team. Because when you have Moses Caicedo and Lavia, Cole
yeah,
Palmer is not dropping deep.
yeah.
If you check, especially
He's
against
protected more,
Liverpool,
isn't he? He's got more
yes, it's
protection, isn't he?
protected.
Yeah,
Especially Lavia can those tens of Lavia can turn and minus two players. You have Cole Palmer there at the exact role. You saw the goal we scored against Liverpool, the Enzo Fernandez. That's the
yeah,
perfect way to score when we have Lavia and Cole Palmer, both of them, because Cole Palmer doesn't drop deep when we have Lavia. That's why
no,
we need to keep Lavia fit. I don't know how, but I'm telling next season we're going to have likes of Andre Santos, Dario Sogo in there
yeah,
to help
yeah,
us. When Lavia is not there, we're going to have a different profile of a
yeah,
midfielder. Because at the moment, it's not easy to drop Moses Caicedo, Enzo
yeah.
Fernandez, because they're doing very well. Also, it's not
And Santos is in there as well, bro.
oh man, next season midfield is going to be packed. I'm not worried about midfield. I'm just worried more about our attack. We need a goal scoring winger. We
Yeah,
need we need a real number 9. Give me
yeah,
Victor Gokeres, Victor Osimhen. As much as I like Delep, is a good player, but I don't
yeah.
think he's ready to step up to be a main man at Chelsea.
You
Chelsea
know
is a
what,
big
bro?
club for these players.
You're singing the same hymn sheet as me, mate. I've said it all. You know from the very beginning when we've gone out to big. I think you've known for years since I've known you. Since we've been on channel on streams. I've always been going on about Victor Osimhen. I've gone on about Victor Gyökeres. I've talked about Jonathan David as well. I've talked about those three guys all the time as our three strikers to look into, right? Jonathan, if you know, my thing is only is that I keep saying, and I'll always say, I don't think we're going to pay the wages to Victor Osimhen, and this is where the downfall is going to be, and this is where I feel where if we want to be an elite elite club again, okay, and we want to go and win trophies as we used to do, then you need to start bringing experience into this team. Don't go with kids again. And when I'm hearing them saying they're gonna bring experienced players to the team, and then you're seeing yourselves being linked with João Pedro and Garnacho, I'm thinking, what
And Gareth,
experience is that?
oh man,
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? What experience is that? You know, if you're talking me, when I talk about experience, I'm talking about elite, and I'm not saying about okay, elite. You would call them elite because they are unfortunately they are in that category of elite in Victor Osimhen and Victor Gyökeres, right? But they are experienced as well. Yeah, so you bring experience to that team. If you can't get those two strikers in, I mean, people have mentioned him on this. People have mentioned him already, and I think the reason why I would go for him over this other player is because for me he's closest to to Isak than any other player that you can go and get, and that is for me is Ikakite from what do you call it? The one we've been the French player. For me, he's
perfect,
got
perfect.
vibes. He's got vibes. He's got vibes slightly off Isak in the way he moves the ball, movement of the ball. The only thing is obviously his goal scoring is not as deadly as Isak. But
Yeah,
obviously, let's not forget when Isak first came over from when Newcastle, the guy wasn't on fire. He was scoring goals in the Spanish league, left, right, and centre. But it took him a bit of
mm,
time to adapt to the Prem, right? But he got there in the end. For me, I don't think this kid is going to need any kind of adapting because he's already had people saying this guy can play a bit of Isak and a bit of Mbappe in him, right? So this is why I would go for him as my next striker if we cannot get a Cucurella, sorry, a Victor Osimhen, who's my first choice, or a Victor Gyökeres, they're my first two striker options, but he'll be my third out of everyone else after that. Jonathan David, you can still even bring in if you want to and get him on a free. So get two strikers at your football club if you want. But I don't know whether Jonathan David want to come and play second fiddle sitting on the bench. I don't think he'd
yeah. I
want to be
think
doing that.
I think David is going to Napoli because it seems like
Yeah, free
Napoli
transfer. Yeah.
Petersfield are pushing more to get him. So big up to Napoli for winning their league. I was so happy because, as much as Lukaku didn't do well at Chelsea, I still
Yeah.
love that player because even after winning the league, I said it. Antonio Conte wanted Lukaku at Chelsea, and if I still blame Marina for this. We signed Morata over Lukaku when the coach asked for Lukaku, and we let Lukaku to go to Manchester United.
Uh-huh.
If we gave Conte Lukaku that season after he won the league with Diego Costa, and they had a misunderstanding, they couldn't get
Yeah.
along. We should have brought Lukaku, not Morata, because Morata didn't do well. The coach asked specifically for Lukaku. He won the league with him at Inter Milan, now at Napoli. You can see the relationship is good. There's no way Lukaku
Yeah.
won't perform for Conte. So anyway, it's another story for another day.
Yeah.
I hope this time we make it right in the summer. So let me read some comments and then
Yeah, go
I'm
for
going
it,
to
bro.
go. Since there's a feeling at the end of the Manchester United game, we could see it in their eye. Their boys are out for it. Hopefully they beat Aston Villa, but I'm not sure.
Mm.
Says Tosin over Chalaba because of aerial duels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a 50-50. But I give my opinion about why I should start Tosin because of Chris Wood. That guy is so good.
He's
So
brilliant. He's
yes,
the one I'm worried about. Their front three itself is
exactly.
worrying, mate. Their front three is worrying.
Yeah, it says, and then we have one and only access. I don't want Rhys James running up and the wings in the midfield have been caught out of few times, taking
Mm.
too long on the ball, especially the goal we scored we consider against Fulham. So I agree with his opinion. It says that about 4-2-3-1 Sanchez, Cucurella, Lavia, Tosin, Reese, Lavia, Caicedo, Madueke on the left, Magui up, Frank Kopama on the right. But I don't think Mark will start because of the injuries and everything. I don't think he will start. And also, Terry says, you are right, TJ. He is the best CB we've got currently at Chelsea. 100%. I agree with you. If the sporting directors had the real zeal to upgrade on Kolpama's super performance last season, they should have a second and elite strike. 100%. 100%. We have Bobby Smoke signals. Pick up, Bobby. How are you?
Big up, Bobby, bro. Big up.
Hey, big up, guys. DJ, How am I? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just thinking about what's coming. This is such a massive game. When the review is done on the season, once again we look at long-term injuries and we look at some stupid things done with the squad depth and the squad balance. But you know, that's for the end of the season. There are two humongous games for different reasons. Huge games. I can't even I can't even quantify just how big these games are for Chelsea. Um, I don't want to go on about Jackson, but I think he should have been fined for what he did, how it's put the club in this position at a point where you need all hands on deck. I am sick and tired of watching Chelsea Football Club go into major games, big games, deficient. We go in from a point of weakness. Either players away due to injury or players away due to stupidity, just like Jackson. You know, we're always going in weakened. And now to add to it all, not only are we playing away against a very vociferous crowd that we should expect, but we now have match officials that are notoriously against Chelsea. It's a very tall order this afternoon, but we're Chelsea. We have to believe, we have to hope, we have to pray, and we go to war. But you know, our whole planning structure, our whole execution of our team balance is faulty. You know, we've over relied on injury prone players. I have no idea what's going on with Nkunku. Why is Nkunku all of a sudden been off injured for so long? And though Maresca did say he's back, but he's going to be match rusty. So this guy has come into Chelsea. He was injured for most of his first season. He has had injuries in his second season, but certainly hasn't given us the best of himself. I don't buy that excuse of, oh, you're playing him out of position and that. No, attitude has a lot to do with it. And he owes Chelsea. You know, he owes Chelsea big time. We've paid him handsomely and we've shown a lot of faith in him. So I don't know what that's about. You know, if you want a transfer, fine, but you got 3 years worth of contract, mate. The club should play very, very hard ball with you in terms of getting a good payout, if that's what he really wants. So I don't like this. I don't like weakness. I don't like physical weakness on the pitch. I don't like mental weakness on and off the pitch. But as I said, you know, today is a different day. Today is an important day. We have to go and we have to win. There's no sugarcoating, gaslighting, smoothing it over. We got to win today, as we got to win on Wednesday, 3 days later. It's a tall order.
100%, 100%. I was about to wrap up, but again, I'm gonna stay for more 20 minutes because since you joined, so I don't want to cut you off. So, DJ, what are your thoughts about Bobby's comments? Says, Papi says you are winning this one. Come on, Chelsea, we better win this
Yeah.
one. Come on, no time for excuses.
Now, listen, as always, you know, Bobby comes with the minerals as always and puts it on it and lands it as he always does. And he's spot on. You know, everything he's just said is spot on. I can't come up with anything and say, well, he's wrong on everything he's just said there. It is a must win. We all know how vital these games are. We all know that, Jackson for me, look, listen, I'm not going to come, I am going to be a bit harsh on Jackson for what he did. He should have not done what he did against Newcastle, but it's what it is. So like John Bobby said, we can't sugarcoat on that. It's without him, we have to go and do the business. I'm sure the players, as I said to you earlier on, Tobago, I'm sure the players have got it drilled in their heads of what needs to be done. And and this is why I feel I'm not saying I'm not saying yeah, I'm 100% confident. I'm just saying that it's going to be a tough game because let's be real here. We are playing at the City ground. We are playing against that. Not only are we playing against Nottingham Forest's fans and they're good players, they're playing against their 12th man and the referee as well. Because people don't want to mention referees in games, and I'm not one for doing it. But we've got to remember who's refereeing this game. It's Anthony Taylor, the guy who can't stand Chelsea Football Club. And you just know any kind of decisions he can use, he would use even decisions that are not even that are wrong to against
And
us.
the
It'll be that as
VAR
well,
guy
bruv.
as well has
And the
always been.
VAR, bruv, Bobby, as always, as well. Bruv.
Yeah.
So we got it
It's
up,
not,
and
it's
we
not
got it. We got a huge toll, bro. As you said, we got it. We got it. We got a big thing today. But as I said, we are Chelsea Football Club, and we should be going out there and doing the business. And this is why I
it's
feel
Peter
today
Bank, right?
it's going to be a tough game. I'm not going to not. I'm not going to. I'm not going to because I know some people are saying Nottingham. It's Nottingham Forest. I mean, people are forgetting what this club has actually done. And the teams it's beaten. It's beaten Manchester City this season. They've beaten other clubs. They're not. They're not some easy pushovers, especially at their own ground. And as I said it earlier on, Tobago, right? That owner of theirs, he is ambitious. You saw what he did to Spirito Santo in their last game, right? So this guy wants to win. So we got to make sure we're up against everything today. But as I said, I'm confident my team will go and win today. I think we can do it. It'll be a tough game, be a tight game. I think it's going to be. I don't want to give predictions or score lines, but it's going to be. The game will be won by 1 goal today.
Yeah, and then also this is our recent record when Antonio Taylor actually ref a match that we played. So before that, guys, if you're new, please kindly subscribe to the channel. We are getting closer to another subscriber. So guys, please kindly subscribe. So according to CFC, there it says Antonio Taylor has refereed Chelsea first and last game of the season for the second season in a row. Liverpool versus Bournemouth, Chelsea versus Forest. And last away defeat with Taylor in charge was Frank Lampard game in 2019 to Manchester United. I remember that game we lost 4-0. And so it says he won the full record of his Chelsea away games since that defeat. We won 2-0 against Watford, 2-1, 2-0 against Spurs, 1-1 against Southampton, 2-1 against Manchester City, 1-1 Liverpool, 1-0 against Brentford, 3-0 against Leeds, 1-0 against Bournemouth, 4-3 against Spurs, and 2-1 against Fulham. That's our last away game that we won against Fulham. So anyway, let me read some comments and they're going to come back. Terry says Strasbourg have been the winner in all of this. They are get to keep super youngsters who are willing to showcase their talent without adding pressure. 100%. Terry says Jackson will be a squad player next season. He's definitely not getting this type of chance to sabotage us in important moments again. 100%. This is my only issue with Jackson. Bro, we know the Newcastle game was very important for us. Even though I thought the red card was too harsh, but there's no way going to play like this in football. It's not a rugby. No way. No way. And we lost that game. In the second half against Newcastle, we had a better team until they scored their goal. So, yeah, man, I'm annoyed. I
He
think
made
Jackson
it.
needs.
He made
Go
it
ahead, Bobby.
so. It's not even that what he did was so aggressive, or he just made it so obvious that even die-hard Chelsea fans could not. Nobody could even argue his case. The referee was going to give him a red, definitely because he's a Chelsea player, but there was no case to be made for him. It was a stupid, highly stupid thing to do. And when you consider that you are the only one, you are the striker that the whole club puts their faith in, I think he should be fined. I'm not saying he should go, he should definitely be fined. And there's no way he should be the main striker next season. He has to rotate. It's as simple as that because he's shown he's irresponsible.
Yeah, if you remember, if you also look into that game today, go that he was actually sent off against Newcastle. When people say he didn't know what he was doing, if you actually look at the cameras of that game, right, he actually was looking about. He was actually looking at the player before he made that foul. So he already knew what he was doing when he went in with that challenge. And I think what he was hoping to maybe he didn't maybe he didn't think he was going to get the player in the face. Maybe he thought he would jump high up with his elbow up and try and block, but he didn't. But when you're looking into a player and then you're running at that same time and running and doing that thing, of course you're going to be sent off because the whole world can see, the whole cameras can see, the eyes are on you, and you can actually see in the guy's vision of what Jackson. He knew what he was doing, and that's what makes this so. As a Chelsea fan seeing that, I can understand it could have been an accidental thing. He didn't mean to do it. But I can also understand why some Chelsea fans think he knew what he was doing, but yet he still went and done that challenge. So,
It was so
it, wa-
annoying.
it was, bro,
So
it
annoying.
was. And I agree,
Do
he
you
should have been
remember?
fined. He should
Yeah,
have
the
been.
club should find him. Do you remember Dennis Bergkamp? Dennis Bergkamp was
Oh,
the
yeah. Yeah,
expert
yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
sneaky elbow.
He was,
He
bro, he
was
was.
he was so cute at the way he did it that you couldn't really. It always looked as if maybe he's falling over.
Yeah.
He gave you
Or
room for
tripping.
an excuse. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yet he was just a dirty
Oh,
little
man.
git. He was because he was protecting himself. He wasn't the biggest of guys, and they used to come for him. So his elbows were
Yeah.
sharp and ready.
Yeah.
But what Jackson did was just
Yeah.
it was in its stupidity. It was so blatantly obvious that even if you want to defend him, you can't. You
Yeah.
can't defend him. Okay, he didn't do it intentionally, but
No.
it was still a blatant foul and a red card. I can't, you know what I mean? And the most
Yeah,
annoying
man.
thing was that in the game, was it for City and Bournemouth? The same thing happened there, but nobody, nobody,
Caught onto it.
yeah, which just
Yeah.
goes to show that as a Chelsea player, you don't make it so obvious because they'll come
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, and if you also remember, as I
100%.
said, if you remember, guys, sorry, Terry, if you remember in that game, Bobby, did you see what I was saying? He actually was looking when he did that as well. Did you see the camera saw it on Sky? When you saw it, he was
Yeah,
actually looking towards the player, so he knew what he was doing.
yeah. Well, that's the impression that's going to
No,
be given, isn't it?
yeah,
When you're
isn't it? Yeah,
looking and
yeah,
then you do that, you can't
yeah.
defend him. This is what is so frustrating. We would all quickly go and defend him if he gave us a margin of error to do that. But he didn't. There's not one person, not one Chelsea fan that I know could turn around and say, "Oh, you know,
Yeah,
Jackson shouldn't have gone." We could say it was harsh, but that is really reaching. The
bro.
geezer just let himself and us down for sure.
If we had 11 men against Newcastle in the second half, the way we played in the second half, we should have won or at least a
Yeah,
draw against Newcastle
yeah,
because
we
in
would
the
have got
second half
something.
we are fantastic. I was wow, we are playing better without Jackson. But the only issue that we had half chances and we couldn't capitalize. And Newcastle scored with a deflection goal. So overall, Jackson messed up for us because, like you said, that game was very important. Newcastle is a threat to us when we qualify for the Champions League, and we let them win just like that, man. But anyway, Terry says so disappointing in Jackson. So keen being our major trip in form, even though we put a lot of Cole Palmer, he should definitely be fined. 100%. I agree with Bobby. We should set an example. When you do those kind of things, you're going to be fined. Simple as that. We should even under Roman, we used to find players. So I think that we need to change. So this our head-to-head against Forest, right? Won 4 games. They won one, which was 1997, and we draw 3. So a previous game, one on at the bridge. I remember this one. And and last season we won 3-2. I remember that game. Jackson scored a late goal, cross from Rich James. They won 1-0 at home last season. The other game is draw. We won 2-0 at home in 2020, even in 2019. But it's all about this game, this season, right? We need to make it right. Look at the table right now. The table. table shows that we need to win this game. Forget about Aston and Liverpool. City, they play against who? Fulham. Fulham might struggle. City might win. Newcastle play against Everton at home. They might win. Newcastle against Manchester United, who are at the moment they are terrible. They might win. And if Aston Villa win and we don't win, we are in trouble. We are in trouble, guys.
Yeah, we are. What I'll say on just on the Manchester United thing, if I had if these players had any kind of pride whatsoever in them after the way they performed midweek against Spurs in the Europa Cup final, these guys are playing their last game of the season. And I'm not saying this to help Chelsea out. Yeah, I'm not saying this. I'll be in the same situation if we had done this. If we had gone out and we were in the same position they were, but you still play for pride when you're playing at especially when you're playing at home and it's your last game of the season. I wouldn't let Aston Villa turn up at your ground and just smash you for 3 on 4 on 5 here, because that would be embarrassing in itself. So I think these guys have got something to play for. Hopefully they will do something. And look, at the end of the day, I don't want to rely on. I don't want it to be this situation. To be fair, Tobago and
Yeah,
Bobby, I want it to be that we go and do the business and not rely on other teams
100%.
to do us favors. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
when you do that, it's just hopium. Do you know what I'm saying? Hope that club does this. Hope that team does this. Hope that team does that. No, it's all on us. And today is going to be a tough game, but we've got to go out there 100% focus and win this game, mate. For the fans, for the
100%.
team, for the club, and for us to get where we belong into the Champions League, mate. That's where we belong as this football club does. It's prestige for
Yeah,
that. We all know that. We all know that.
we need to go for the third European Champions League trophy before other teams catch us. So we definitely need to win this game. Like I said, I don't care how we do it. Even against Manchester United, for me personally, I thought we were terrible. I don't want to lie. We are terrible. But at the end of the day, we managed to get the point. 3 points is all matters. And especially at the last minutes, we need to do that. So against Forest won't be easy, but like you said, we need the players to turn up and also take the opportunities. Noni Madueke had 2 chances against Manchester United and he missed both of them. That's the only issue I'm having with Noni. Noni is a very, very good player, but he's not consistent, right? Neto can create, but we all know that he doesn't like to shoot a lot. He doesn't score a lot of goals. But Noni can score goals, but the issue is that it's not clinical. So today, I don't want no excuses from these players. This game is going to define you as a player that you really want to play for. Chelsea Football Club, you want to go to the Champions League. Also, we have a game on Wednesday against Real Betis. We really need to win that game also. But the main focus is not about this game today. Get the job done and train on Monday, Tuesday, and we go again on Wednesday and win the European trophy. Will be amazing. So Terry says
Yeah.
the second half against Newcastle, we showed we can do without Jackson as a major player, and that with just about any other striker will be fine next season 100%. But I think we need to get the right profile. So KD says sub today, and I'm falling in love with the strip. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it 100%. Says and Palmer needs to be awakened today. He's needed so much, bro. We need Cole Palmer today. I don't know how Cole Palmer you need to turn up. You remember the game against Manchester United under Pochettino, and we were losing 3-2. Cole Palmer turned up. So we need that. We need that. So anyway, guys, any final thoughts about we talked about today? Because I think I'm going to wrap up soon. Yeah, we have 2.5 hours doing the stream, so it's draining. So DJ Safe, anything you'd
Yeah,
like to
bro.
talk about
Yeah.
before we
Like,
wrap it up?
yeah. As always, Tobago, pleasure being on your stream with you, bruv. Everyone in the comments, please smash and subscribe as always. Always great pleasure talking to my bro Bobby as well whenever he comes on it. I already know what the conversation is going to be like. So yeah, it's always great chatting to him. Going back to the game in itself, look, listen, we talked about how vital this win is, how vital it is for us to win. The other thing we've not mentioned is the players' attitude, meaning they've got to be careful not to get wrong, stupid bookings or sendings offs, because this referee will not hesitate to send off a Chelsea player if he gets a chance to. So for me, this is vital as well in the game. It's all like saying going and win the game. Yeah. But you need to do it with 11 men, especially today's game. You can't go and have another 10-man situation as you did against Newcastle and be lucky as we were because they only knocked us for 2, even though we were the better team in the second half with 10 players. This time round, this game has more to lose than anything else for both clubs. So this is why the players need to make sure their attitude is right. They go out there, perform for the club, perform for the fans, get us into the Champions League, win this game no matter what. When I say win at all costs, I don't mean going getting fouled and getting sent off. No, you win games and play the game, play the beautiful game as you play out how to do it, and the football that you guys can bring to the football club. So do that today. And I tell you what, we can win this game. I'm confident we can do it. It's just the players have got to believe in themselves, and the manager's got to make sure he's got that in their heads as well. Because with that, if you don't have that winning mentality, because it always starts from the manager going down to the players. The players have also got to have that winning mentality in their heads to say they want to go and win this. And I just feel this is why I think it's vital Reece James starts today, because I think he'll have that DNA in him. Chalobah, for me, another one at least to start today. I'm choosing all these guys from Cobham and mention them in this now because they're the ones that know what it's like to win for this club and to get us to where we need to get again. So for me, it has to be a must win. I think we'll do it, guys. I really do. I really do. But again, as always, Tobago, it's great talking to you, and thanks for having me on, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate DJ. Bobby, anything you'd like to add before we end the stream?
Yeah, as always, it is a pleasure. I don't always know who's streaming where and when. I don't know if you're doing a post match or doing a
Uh,
watch along or whatever. But
Coach will do a pre-game stream 1 hour before the game.
okay, I think a post match is going to be what's more important, no matter what happens. So I don't know who's going to do that. But that is very important for the fan base. But, look, today is about the mental side of the game and the physical side. There must be discipline, there must be grit, and there must be determination. It's that simple. There's no room for, oh, you're too young, or, oh, they feel nervous. No. This isn't the stage for that. This is the stage for the winners. If you're good enough, you're old enough. They've got to get out there and do the job. I can't say that any less emphatically. They've got to get out there and do the job. No stupidity, no unnecessary cards, just as DJ said, discipline. And please God, let them do it. I don't I can't say I can predict anything right now, but are we capable of winning? Yes, we are. We have to be accurate in front of goal for a change, and we could win. But Forest is a very, very good team with some really tough players and defenders, and some of our ex-boys as well. So, we've got to show up today, and I really pray we do.
Yeah, 100%. So thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it. Also, thank you, DJ Sef, for coming. We had Koi, Dante on the panel. I appreciate it. We had Terry on the chair, KD. We had Lee. We had many people here that I knew. So if you haven't subscribed, guys, please kindly subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Update Charles. Hopefully we win today. Hopefully it's a must-win game. Hopefully we win. Update Charles. Good luck to the lads. Cheers.